How? All right, I'm so sorry, guys. Holy cow. All right, let me see. We got Jimmy's here, Bring Smoke's here. What's up? I think it was Bring Smoke. Was that Mike? Was that your name? I'm sorry, I'm late. Fat man. Yeah. I know. Let's see how many thumbs up we can get before he starts. Yeah, D-Dub, what's up? Steven, how you doing? Excuse me, man. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Usually, what ends up happening is I have an alarm set for 8:45, and then I snooze the alarm, but I dismissed it by mistake, and then I was like, oh, I'll circle back and make sure everything's good. Totally forgot. I'm sitting here just doing other stuff, and then I'm like, wait a minute, what time is it? Crap, it's after 9 o'clock. Damn it. Anyway, man. All right. I'm here. So thank you guys. If you have not already, thank you guys if you have not already given a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it if you could. So let me get the live stream. I'm gonna bring up the live stream portion and make sure that that is working. Okay. Actually, before I do that, let me do this real quick. Number correct. This is his username. I'm not a robot. boy. Channel. Dashboard. Nope. Content. Alright. Those of you guys, any of you guys use Easy Pass? I have Easy Pass, and my Easy Pass account, for whatever well, not for whatever, my credit card updated, and man, talk about havoc. Credit card updated, my Easy Pass wasn't getting updated, so then I started getting billed for stuff. I'm like, yo, I've had Easy Pass for like, we've lived in Maryland. I've had Easy Pass, I feel like for almost 20 years. It's 2022. We moved to Maryland in 2001. I've had Easy Pass since we moved to Maryland, from going back and forth up and down the highway from Philly back to Maryland. So, yeah. Anyway, always done auto replenishment, always had it set up, with a credit card, all of that stuff. And then it broke. It broke. So, I am kind of mad that I'm going to be getting a whole bunch of bills because, of course, it took them a month to send out my first violation. BS. Anyway, all right. Blind Man Cooking, what's up? Bring the smoke. He says, hey, yo, what up? Steven, how you doing? Maria, how you doing this evening? Victor says, howdy, everyone. About time you got this started. Yeah, I know. It happened that way. Blind Man Cooking, he says, hey, Dash, and SDS, or I guess he's trying to say barbecue crew. How's everyone doing tonight? Sorry, I am late. I do apologize. I'll take an extra shot or something to make up for it. So, all right, let's talk about what to ask. Because since I'm already behind, usually I give a couple minutes to dedicate to saying hi to everybody, but we're past that point because my dumb butt snoozed the alarm and it didn't get here on time, so I'm playing catch up. I hate being late. Absolutely hate being late. So, all right, let's see. Bumpy said, "What up, Dash? I was listening live tonight, working OT till 3:30." He said, "What up, everyone?" Jesus, man, yo, we gotta get together. Bumpy, the pew pew thing, we definitely need to do that. We definitely need to do that. Definitely. I know you live closer to oh man, what is the place out in White Marsh? I know you live closer to up there. I might have a connect up there. Might have connected with one of the folks that works up there. So I don't know. We might have to work something out. All right, let's see. Marie says she's doing good. Her husband is holding me to my word. Gotta put up this mirror in the back house, Bill. Yeah. All right. KB says, hey, yo, it's Ayo, A-Y-E. Like, hey, hey, not like, hey, but Ayo. All right. Dash. Rainman Ray's Repair. No. Should I watch Rainman Ray's Repair? Chocolate Capricorn. She says, hey, y'all. Oh, man. It's so awesome when you guys pop in. So listen. I wanted to talk to you guys about things that you need to ask for or ask of the person that you are going to be doing a catering event for. This one should be a good one, and you should be able to hopefully take some notes, come back to this video, and we can talk about it. And what I would like to do is kind of put together a checklist of sorts of things that you can kind of say, let me ask about this, let me cover this. So there's not that, oh, I forgot to ask about this, or, oh man, I never even thought to talk to that person about that. All right. So I kind of put together a list of a quick rundown of things that I ask for or talk about when I am talking to a potential customer, client, supporter, whatever you want to call it. All right. And the reason why I wanted to talk to you guys about this week is because I've had 3 folks contact me about doing events for them in the coming up. Everybody's able to do events again. Bumpy says, great topic. Maria says, Dash, do you like spicy food? LOL, I wish I could handle spicy food. I don't mind spicy at all. It's just that if it's too spicy, I'm going to have indigestion. But it's one of those things where it's like, people who are lactose intolerant, they're like, I'll just deal with it. That's kind of how I am with the spicy foods. Usually, my indigestion is so bad. These are indigestion pills that I keep them on standby because there are times when I'm just like today. Actually, had my wife wanted Thai food, and Thai food can be spicy, and I like mine like medium spicy. It was just spicy enough, but I know if I get hot, I'm gonna be burping it up the rest of the day. All right, Chocolate Capricorn says hi to everybody. Mike Reve, how you doing? He says, hey yo, Dash, what's up? It's A-Y-E. Hey yo. Maybe I need to get that on a sticker. Victor, let's see. Awkward question for you. Awkward question for sure, but in the first 5 questions should be what the budget. Listen. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Victor. Victor, this is why we are on the same page, dog. Seriously. All right. KB says his number 1 question is, do you have money? Service and setup or just drop off is the money difference? Yes. So, all right. You guys are already on the same train of thought that I am. I'm going to expand upon that a little bit. So there's 1, 2, and I know you guys probably can't read my handwriting because it was just scribbled down. So I'm going to go down this list, but Bumpy, that's number 6. On site or like pre-cooked drop off. All right. Dude, I was just counting it up. Jeremy Pena, hey, what's up, man? Steven, all right. Mike says sorry, not from the East Coast. No worries, no worries, Mike, no worries. All right, so let's go down this list, and we can kind of put these. I won't say put them in order, but I want you guys to keep. Should it be lower on the list of things, or should it be higher on the list of things? What's going up, Darnell? How you doing this evening, sir? And you can help me out with this too. I really, the reason I want to talk about this, what to ask when booking catering events, this is going to be what you are going to ask of your customer, what you are going to ask to prepare for this event. We can always say, oh, what date are you going to have your event? Obviously, first and foremost, the date in which you are going to have this event or the date that is going to happen needs to be the first question. What's the date that you're looking to have this event on? And then how about a date and then a contingency date, right? Or a rain date. Because like, is it a go or no go, rain or shine type event? Or is it one of those things where, oh, if it rains that particular day because it's out in the middle of a park, we're not going to be able to have the event? You need to find out that information, because if I'm smoking meats for you and it's in an event where the rain happened, or rain happens, or I've told you guys about an event I did years ago when my kids were going to this particular school. They were having an event and the event got canceled because of snow. Yo, I'd already cooked the food. Guess what? They canceled the event the day of the event. Well, I cooked all of the food the night before the event into that morning, and then was going to take it the food to the school that evening. They canceled the event that morning. Now what? What do you do in those type of instances? Yep, there you go, Maria. Let's see. So, venue, indoor or out. That's a good one. All right, I'll add that to the list. All right, so my first question I have is going to be the date and the duration. A lot of times you want to find out how long this particular event is going to be. You can find out how long it's going to be because you can kind of figure in if you're going to bill for on-site hours, or if you are look at Joey. He says, I'm going to ask if they want food. Yeah, if they're talking to someone like us, I'm pretty sure if they're going to want to make sure that they have food. Just putting that out there, Joey. Just putting that out there. All right, so all right, you guys, this is so much more difficult because I'm trying to look at a list and read the comments and stay like in the comments, as well as keep track on my list, right? So the date and the duration. I start talking about duration because if I'm going to be bringing or setting up warmers and things like that, I can kind of cater which warmers I use. There are some long-term, like 6-hour warmers, and there are some 2 or 2.5-hour warmers. So let's say, hey, this is going to be just like an employee luncheon or something like that. I'm dropping food off. I don't have to be there all day. I'm not doing much anything like hanging around or anything. I can provide those 2-hour warmers. But if it's going to be like, oh, we're having a birthday party and kids are going to be doing this and folks are going to be kind of in and out, or graduation party and people are going to be kind of coming in shifts, then I might want to provide those 6-hour warmers, sternos, as opposed to those short-term 2-hour warmers. All right, something to think about. All right, so let's see. Let's catch up on the comments. Mike says, ask for a deposit up front to cover the cost of food. Mike, all right, let's talk about the deposit real quick. And I'm going to write that one down because the way I bill my customers is everything needs to be paid up front at least 7 days, or at the latest 7 days in advance. I'm going to say that again. Everything has to be paid up front 7 days prior to your event. That's the full payment. Now, if I'm going to be doing an event for you and the event is less than $500, I will usually take a deposit of 50% to save your date. All right. When I take that deposit of less than, like $250 or so to save your date, that's what I'm doing. I am penning you in on that particular date, right? Now, with the payment due in full prior to the event, that makes sure that I know that person is serious, okay? Now, starting out, you might not be able to command that sort of payment, or that sort of, that you might not be able to get your money all up front. There are going to be those people that are not going to want to pay you all up front. So what you have to do is say, okay, listen, this is what I'm going to need to do. Now, there could be local laws and restrictions and things like that on what you can take up front prior to actually providing the service. Most of the time, you're going to be able to get away with 50% or like a third or 66% of the total amount prior to the event, and then everything else is going to be cash on delivery, or payment on delivery type thing. All right, let's see. So Darnell has a good one. Building access, elevators, no locked doors. Is the words walking around the building trying to find unlocked entrance and no one answering the phone. Let's see. Access, elevators. So what I would do is I'm going to kind of lump that in with the site visit. I talk to you guys about doing site visits all the time, and that is one of the times where you would, when you get there, you can say, hey, is this door going to be unlocked? Or, hey, where do I actually come into the building? So that's when you would ask those type of questions. Also, here's the next thing. Make sure you have, make sure you have more than one phone number or point of contact, so that if you have a really big event, hey, I called the first person's not answering, let me call a second person. So you might need multiple contacts. Victor says, Dash, how do you set up short versus long time warmers? How do you set up? So, I mean, point blank, there are 2-hour warmers and there's 6-hour warmers. There are even some 4-hour warmers. It just depends on the event. And I hopefully I answered that when I was talking about it before, but I don't really set them up too much different. Blind Man Cooking says, do you ask for a cancellation fee to cover food costs for last minute cancellations? So to be completely honest, I'm gonna find some wood. I have been very lucky, and I have been able to work with folks, so I have not had very many cancellations. I kind of think that the way that my billing structure, or the way that I bill folks, it weeds out the people who are going to cancel, because the whole thing is they're going to lose out themselves if they don't actually go through with the event. So that I again haven't had to go on there. Victor says, on the deposit, is it non-refundable? So within reason, I'm gonna say I have been lucky where I haven't had to worry about refunding folks, and that's one of those things just as of yet. I try to work with people. Hey, if the weather is bad or something comes up, or whatever the case may be, I kind of try to be proactive to say, okay, like actually, I had a guy, he booked me for an event to cook for him, and then at the last minute he changed direction, but it was last minute enough where it was short, like the time frame was short. So he called me on like a Monday for something he wanted on Saturday, and I told him, I said, listen, you have to take care of paying for this invoice by Wednesday. If you don't pay for this invoice by Wednesday, I said, I'm going to consider that you're moving in a different direction. So I called him on Wednesday. I left a message. I nothing happened, right? He didn't give me a deposit, but he also didn't secure his date, if that kind of makes sense. So when I finally spoke to him on like Wednesday night or Thursday, he was very apologetic, and he said, unfortunately, he wasn't able to take my call, and he was getting back to me as soon as possible, but they decided to move in a different direction, and they weren't able to use my service. I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. You okay over there? Yeah. Tester number 3 dropped the container full of ice. All right. Darnell said, non-refundable deposit. I don't play. I hear you. Maria said, gotta run. Install this mirror. Take care, Dash and all. Yes, Maria, you too. Take great care out there on the West Coast. Victor says, so it's the size of the sternals, okay? I'm going to be needing a long setup for farmers market. Not necessarily, Victor. What you might find is that if you have the longer stern, and this is one of those things is just with experience, you might do better getting some of the 2-hour or a good deal of the 2-hour sternals versus the 6-hour sternal, because you can kind of turn them on and feed them as you need them. If you have 6-hour sternals and you set up, let's say 12 6-hour sternals, and as you start to sell food out, you still have 6-hour sternals that are only burnt for an hour or two, let's say. So that's one of those things where you kind of have to figure that part out or that piece out, but you'll get it. Um, So Darnell says I use 6-hour sternos and disposable chafing dishes if I don't need to stay. For the most part, I use almost all disposable chafing dishes just because I have not been able to make that investment into the the chafing dishes, and I don't have a place to store them. There's the next piece, because yeah. All right, so let's get back to my list. We talked about the date, the duration, point of contact and their information, and maybe a backup point of contact and their information. That's good to have. The type of event or occasion that can kind of determine determine the level of, I won't say sophistication, but I went to a wedding. I catered for a wedding September last year. So actually it was September 2020, right? During the pandemic. And that was the catalyst for me to buying the bowling shirts, as everyone likes to call them, the collared shirts with with the multicolor, because everyone else was wearing like suits and ties, and I had on a t-shirt. All right. So that was the catalyst. So the occasion, the event can determine how dressed up or dressed down you need to be. Bumpy says, do you have a written contractor agreement? And when should you create a written? So I don't have a written agreement. I know I should have a written agreement, but it's one of those things where I just try to, I'm gonna say, in the PayPal document with the invoice, I do list like a disclosure or like some conditions. So I don't necessarily have that very formal contractor agreement. What up, Rick? He says, hello, hello, hello. Good night. Hey, can you turn off the light in the kitchen, please? Hey, Q Daddy, what up? How you doing this evening? Definitely a different setup and suggestions list versus like a kid's birthday. Yes, indeed. So, the type of event and the occasion will definitely, play part in what you're going to do. All right. D-Dub says, I collect full payment up front. I've only had one postponement. When they rescheduled, they upgraded to a whole brisket and sent the difference. All right. Nice. Okay. So obviously, here's one of those next questions that is, kind of line as far as the top 5, the number of guests. Okay. You need to know how many people so that you can gauge whether or not, hey, how about this? You need to gauge whether or not this is an event you can handle. All right. You need to gauge what it is that you are going to need to do. Okay. And then of course, with the number of guests goes hand in hand. And this is again, this is top 5. This is the budget. Okay. Hey, it's one of those things where you can kind of level set people, because some folks have no idea what barbecue is going to cost, or whatever it is you're catering. If you're not doing barbecue, I do barbecue. I don't know if you did or did not know that. I do barbecue. Still Drum Smokers Barbecue is the name of my catering company, and I've been doing this for a while. I've been at it for a little bit, right? And sometimes you have to level set people. You have to level set people who just don't know, or I won't say ignorant too, but they just don't know. They're used to going, unfortunately, they're used to going to fast food spots, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Burger King, Wendy's. This is not Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A. It's not, okay? I mean, but I'm also not Ruth Chris, okay? So you have to level set people sometimes, and you have to let them know. So sometimes you need to get on the same page, or make sure that they are on the same page budget-wise, because people can start thinking, oh, I have $250. I'm going to feed 500 people. How? All right. And then sometimes you have to level set people and say, if you go out someplace, or let's say you're having 100 people, okay? Your 100 people, you budget $12 per person, okay? Oh, okay. I thought budget $12 per person. Oh, damn. Let's do that math. That's $1,200. Ooh. Yeah, my budget is only 600. All right. Now you can't budget $12 a person. You can only budget $6 per person. I've worked with folks, companies that have a per employee budget for events. And that per employee budget can be $10, $12, $15. And your job is to get as much of that as you can. I mean, why not? And then on the converse, on the flip side of that, I've also worked with people that said, "Hey, I've got $900. What can I do with $900?" And you figure it out. You do the Tetris and get to $900 as close as you can. All right. D-Dub says he collects women up front. Yep, we talked about that. Darnell says asking about type of utensils, plastic flatware, fancy plastic flatware, table settings. So I won't say I don't get into the nitty gritty like that, but I do ask about. I don't really ask. I kind of do because I find that my customers, the ones that they will do some stuff and I will do the other stuff. When it comes to all of the food, all of the, sides, sometimes if I'm getting chips or if I'm getting, other things like that, but they will take care of the utensils. Now, is this something that I offer? Yes. Is this something that I push? No. So that'll be kind of what your I won't say comfort is, or what you are willing to do and provide and bring. There have been events and some of the venues that I go to, the people who are planning, they'll just say, "Oh, we will supply the plates, the napkins, the utensils, all of those things, the serving items." Some people take care of that. Where other folks, they're like, "Oh, hey, I'm having this out in the middle of the park. I'm gonna need you to bring everything." And I've brought waters, sodas, chips, plates, napkins, utensils, barbecue sauce, ketchup, mustard, relish, all of those things. Like I said, sometimes you just have to level set your customer and find out how much or how little they are willing to do and how much they want you to do. So, all right. Let's see. AQ says I collect payment at day of turn in, but I should collect the deposit and then the rest on. Yes, indeed. If not collecting 100% prior to the event, then you definitely want to collect like 66%. So that mitigates your loss. Rick said, may have already been asked, but if you want me to serve or just drop off and stand by. So, Rick, that is one of the things. So that's the next question, basically. Back to go back again and recap. We have the date, the duration, the point of contact information or points of contact information, the type of event / occasion, the number of guests, all right, your budget, and then on site, on site cooking. Like, am I going to be on site, like serving food or actually cooking, or is this going to be like a pre-cook drop off situation? Because if I hang around and I'm handing out food or like catering, or not catering, but serving folks, there's a fee for that. I'm charging for that. Neil says, what are we talking about today? So we're talking about what to ask when booking a catering event. So as the caterer, what do you ask of that potential customer so that you can get on the same page and make sure that your their expectations, or you can meet and or exceed their expectations. Darnell said his first video was out. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let me see here. Go to channel. He has a video out. Holy cow, it's a damn hour long. Why is it an hour long, dog? We're gonna have to see what this is all about. I'm gonna go ahead. Look, I'm number 44. Alright, so let's do this. Copy. And I like how he snuck that in there too. He was like, "Oh hey, by the way, yeah. Alright, so let's get back to the questions. Rick says $6 per person. That's like sausage wrap and a bag of chips. Yep. Look, Darnell said $6 get you a burger and a dog. Shoot. Uh-oh. Sorry. I don't know what I did there. Touched the screen tapped the screen too long. Grab it. All right, there we go. It's water. Water everywhere. Not a drop to drink. So the more you do, the more you make money wise. Yes and no, Neil. So you can kind of dollar cost average. Like if I'm making a fire and I can make 10 turkeys in a fire versus making one turkey in a fire, I'm going to make more money because just volume. So let's say AQ says for a catering gig, do you rent any warmers to stay at the location? If it's drop off, self-serve. So usually what I do, and that's one of those things in my fees, in my setup and drop off, the setup and delivery fee rather, is like I charge a setup and delivery fee. It's going to be $50 or 10% of whatever the total is, and that covers the cost of the warmers, the trays. Yo, have you seen how much the chafing racks have gone up? They used to be like $4 for the two. There's like $6 for two of them now. So best believe I'm gonna be trying to take them with me whenever possible, or let the person know, hey, I'm gonna come back and pick these up later. You can throw away the foil pans, but these little holders, I need these back. All right, or I'm gonna have to start buying them in packs of 50 or 100 from like the Restaurant Depot, because good God, they've gotten expensive. Uh Oh, Darnell says I don't know how to edit yet. He said I'm sorry. What up, Alton? Alton, how you feeling, sir? I saw you, was getting a treatment today, so hopefully you are doing well, sir. If you did not know, Alton is going through a little health issue, and definitely support the good brother and wish him well. Thoughts and prayers, good brother. Thoughts and prayers. Alan says, "Hey, yo, had to pop in and say hello. It's been a while, yes, sir, man. I know. Look, you got your thing going on, man. I'm just a bystander. My thoughts and prayers are up with you. I definitely, see you on Facebook and you and the missus, and I thumbs up and like from here to there. Definitely see you got something. You got bigger fish to fry right now." Let's see. Howdy, Victor says. Let's see, $7 now. Oh, damn, son, Bumpy. He said it's $7 for them racks. Jeez, he said $7 now. Just bought 4 Saturday. Dog. I mean, literally, they were like $2 or $3 a piece. So why are they $7 right now? Why? Look, Neil says, I don't know about you, but everything has gotten expensive. Yeah, man. All right, so let's get to the next thing on the list. What type of food do you want? Okay, the food wanted. Like, there are times when people know me for doing a specific thing and they're like, I have to have this. I have to have your brisket. I have to have your salmon. I have to have your lamb. Are there any special requests or dietary restrictions? Those are things that you need to ask. If you have, or if that person is going to be um preparing, not preparing, accommodating vegetarians, vegans, pescatarians. Those are things that you need to know up front so you can say, okay, this is something I can handle, or this is something that I can't handle. All right. So I'm going to put all of that together kind of like in one. All right. So then let's see. So this kind of goes with what Darnell was asking about, amenities / limitations. That's when you want to do a site visit. I talk about site visits all the time. And, a site visit can basically be, hey, look, I'm going to come up to your house. I'm going to go look in your backyard and say, okay, this is where I can set my grill up over here. Or you just go in there and say, all right, well, what's the plan? Are you going to, like, that event that I did last summer where I took my grill and I cooked out for like 50 to 100 people in folks' backyard? the event when I messed up the chicken and I took the grill, and like that event, a week or so before the event, I went up to the folks' house, and I'm like, okay, hey, so what's the setup going to be? They had a pretty nice backyard. I was able to drive the trailer up into like the front yard and side yard, drop the grill off of the trailer. Like I was able to park off the street, so I didn't have to worry about like rolling my grill halfway down the block. It was great, fantastic. But the limitations there was like a slight slope. There were I didn't really want to have the grill so close to the house that they were going to have smoke inhalation inside of the house. There were other considerations that I had while I was there, but once I got there and saw what it was going to be, I'm like, oh, we'll just figure this part out. All right, Steven, tell Laura that's one. The guests were kind of a little further away from where I was, and the food was in between where I was and where the guests were, so they didn't have to worry about where the wind was blowing and where the smoke was going. Luckily enough, the smoke was blowing in the opposite direction of where the guests were. I have had that in the past where you go to an event and you say, okay, the person's dead set on to having you set up here, and then you set up there, and the wind is blowing in one way, and you got the guests blowing in another. There have been times when the wind will be blowing in my face, and I'm like, I can't turn the grill around because then the wind will be, the wind will be fighting me as opposed to trying to choke me out. So those are all things that you have to kind of think about when you look at when you do a site visit and look into the amenities / limitations of the event. And then of course, expectations. What do they want you to do? Let's see. AQ says, let me just say this is the most informative and helpful barbecue live. Well, not a problem, man. So the whole thing is, I've done this 3 times this week. 3 times this week. And my whole thing was like, so Monday I got a phone call, and I'll be honest, like how this works out, right? The first one I got was on Monday. I got a phone call, and this guy's like, hey, my name is, such and such. I'm calling from this particular Baltimore City Recreation Center. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, what's up? He said, well, one of my employees passed along your information, and we were interested in doing a celebration, a 1-year celebration of the opening of this rec center. And I'm like, okay, so let's talk about it for a minute. Like, what would you like me to do? He's like, I kind of wanted to find out what you did and then see if that'll work for us. And I said, okay, well, I do barbecue. Okay, and when I say I do barbecue, I do smoked meats. But not only do I do smoked meats, and if it's something that you're trying to do on site at your rec center, I would think that it would be something that I could cook hot and fast, like hot dogs and hamburgers. Unfortunately, that is the hot and fast thing, hot dogs and hamburgers. I said, but especially rec center, you're going to have a lot of younger kids and parents, things like that. I said, most people like, especially like a real grilled hot dog hamburger, folks love that. He said, okay, cool. And we got to talking, and he told me, he's like, well, I just really need to know what it is you would provide or what you can provide. And then we kind of went from there. So I told him, hey, I'm like, how many people are you expecting? He's like, oh, probably between 300 and 500. I said, okay, I'll base my estimate on about 400 people. Have I ever grilled hot dogs and hamburgers for 400 people? No. But can I grill hot dogs and hamburgers for 400 people? Yes. I won't say that's not going to be, it's going to be tough. Like I'm going to be bumping, right? But it's not going to be something that I can't do. My grill table will allow me to cook. I think I can cook like 80 hamburgers at a time. 80. So if I can cook a box of hamburgers, 40 hamburgers at one shot, and a box of hot dogs, which is going to be like 80 hot dogs at one shot, I don't think I'm going to have much problem cooking the 5. It's going to be 5 boxes, I estimated, because I did the invoice today. 5 boxes of hot dogs and 10 boxes of burgers. And then what I can do is cook 80 hot dogs and cook 40 burgers and then another like 60 burgers so that I'm kind of catching up so that the numbers kind of even out. Because who knows? Little kids might want hot dogs. All right, well, they eat 100 hot dogs, but there's only 80 burgers cooked. And I don't know. We're going to see, because that's one of those things that you kind of figure out on the go, on the fly. Right there is when you say, okay, I'm going to cook 40, 50 hot dogs at one time. I'm going to cook 30, 40 hamburgers to be ready to be done. And then as food goes out, okay, the burgers are going faster. The hot dogs are going faster. You'll figure that part out. That's easy. Having the food on hand, getting paid. How about this? Getting the job. That's the hard part. Cooking, that's easy. All right. Mike says, gotta love inflation. Yeah. Yo, I know, Alton. I see you on Instagram talking about, oh, I got this, I got that. Oh, hard to believe. Dude, I understand, but you know what? All of that is justified, man. You take care of you first before you start worrying about anything else. Russ said, hey, y'all, can't here, just, I guess, can't stay here. Just landed in Newark, still on the plane. All right, well, damn. So Alton says, so Dash, what are you gonna charge me to cater my next YouTube meetup here at the house? For you, man, I don't know. I need some jug. I might need a custom. I won't say a custom cup because you know I got my cup already. I don't know. We could definitely talk about something. You know, you put me up in the hotel. You take care of the airfare or something. You know, we can work it out. Cause you know I'm good for it. Half passport will travel. You know, since Texas is a whole nother country now. Bumpy said location of event. Does this hall have a kitchen, warmers, and will have access? Yes. So that's all part, Bumpy, of the site visit, the amenities, the things that you can use. All right, and I'll put this down because I had an event, and we got in there. And there were things that we were not able to use, okay? So limitations of equipment. And then here's another thing. If you're going to be using someone else's equipment, do you know how to operate it? All right? Because, man, look, Steven's cracking up. Have you ever had to turn down a job? I turn down jobs. I won't say turn down jobs all the time, but yes, I do tell people no because they want some outrageous, off the wall stuff, and I'm like, no, no, no. Like the whole thing is, the more you bend for or at people's wills, the more they're going to take advantage. You give people an inch, you give them an inch, they take them out. Yo, it is so true when it comes to cooking for other people. You know why? Because their thought is, I'm paying you. Why do you? No, I want this. And your job is to push back, but push back tactfully. And you can push back and say, I don't do that, but this is why I don't do this, and explain to them. You know, one of the things that I get requested for, or the most requests for, I'm going to have an event for 250 people. Okay. I want to do chicken wings. No, you don't. No, you don't. Yes, I do. I want chicken wings. I want to have chicken wings. Okay. Let's break this down. Let me make it make dollars and cents for you. First of all, there's a chicken wing shortage right now. Okay? First and foremost, there's a chicken wing shortage right now. Can I find chicken wings for you? Yes. Are you going to pay out through the nose for chicken wings? Yes. Will I take your money for those chicken wings? Yes. Do I hate cooking chicken wings? Pretty much. I don't hate them, but I just like them. They're so tedious. I talk about it all the time. But that is neither here nor there. The main reason why I don't suggest or recommend chicken wings for large parties is because they are a piece thing. If I'm going to cook or prepare chicken wings for 250 people, I'm going to mentally say I need to have 2 wings per person. Maybe even 3 per person. What happens if you get that person that's greedy and is like, I'm going to take 6 wings to myself. I can eat a dozen wings myself. There are people who do that. The same thing holds true for ribs. Wings, ribs, I don't recommend those pieces, those types of uh, I don't recommend wings or ribs on events for more than 20 people. When you have a smaller event and you can kind of level set people and say, look, I have 25 wings to split between the 20 of us. People will not lose their minds and take all of the wings. I mean, you could have somebody literally take half a dozen wings when there's 20 of them or 25 wings for 20 people. Yo, that's 6. You got 19 wings now for 19 people? No, I mean, come on, it just doesn't. The pieces just don't work out. That's when you need to have the the pulled pork, the pulled chicken, the sliced brisket, and that's why I slice the brisket in such small pieces. Because if I have a slice this big, someone's gonna take 2 or 3 slices that big. But when they have a slice that's this big, they might take the same 2 or 3 slices, which is still half of that single slice that they took 6 times of. But yes, Neil, turning down jobs is inevitable. You're gonna have those jobs where you just you could be too busy. I've been double booked, double and triple booked, and I just can't fit it in. So what I try to do for those instances is I say, can I give you your food early? Is there something where we can possibly change the date? Are you hard set on that date? Do you definitely want me to come and cook? And I've had people change the dates before. I've had people say, okay, I don't care. I'll do what I need to do to warm it back up. Right? There's certain people who do willing. Some people are willing to go above and beyond. Victor says, how do you deal with long lead out dates and the cost of the meat has dramatically increased since giving a cost to the event? Victor, I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson last year. That very thing happened, and we talked about this. I gave an estimate midsummer. The event was like in September. Between midsummer and September, my costs damn near doubled, and I had to take it on the chin. Now, for these events that I have coming up, I've let the people know. Listen, I can give you an estimate today, but this estimate today will possibly change when we get closer to your event. Okay, this estimate is just that, an estimate. I will give you a final cost, a final breakdown once we get, let's say, 2 weeks out from your event. Hopefully that'll be enough. FCB says, hey there, gosh, God's Construction says, is it ethical to say based on market price because they don't have a freezer full of meat, we buy when it's requested? So yes and no. God's creation, I don't have a problem with market price, but the problem with market price is, what is market price, right? I hate that sometimes, and sometimes you just have to say the market price, and I'm scratching my back here, itching. The market price can be between this number and this number, or I can give you an estimate at today's rate, so you can at least have a level set of what that price could be, and you can tell people, even if you have to tell them, listen, this price could go up 10 to 20% between now. So it is March 9th. That first event that I have coming up, or possibility coming up, is April 23rd. That's a month and a half. What can happen in 6 weeks? Well, if I'd have said what could happen in 6 weeks 2 weeks ago, did you really think that I would be talking about, the possibility of a war going on? Like, for real? I didn't. I sure as hell didn't. All right. Victor says, sounds like Johnny Five is going to be earning his keep. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Rick said, that's all you're going to see. What happens if the food is left over? Do you still charge for it? Yes and no. So, Neil, very good question. Let me try to level set you guys and tell you, set your expectations, but tell you what this event is. So that event at the rec center, that's the one for April 23rd. Okay, the guy contacted me, and I gave him an estimate of 400 people. If they have 200 people that show up and come and eat hot dogs and hamburgers, the other food that is left over, I give them 2 options. They have paid me to be on site and cook. I can cook all of this food for you and hand it to you, or I can say, okay, well, you can put this back into your freezer, you can put this into your refrigerator, and now you have food for your employees to eat. I have done it both ways. There have been times when people were like, nah, 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 nah. Like the event last summer, towards that September event where I went to the backyard, um, there was a good portion of the food that I cooked. Like he was like, nah, man, just knock it out. Like cook it so that I'll have food left over. So as people kind of cycle in and out, we'll be able to eat all night long. I'm like, no problem. I'll cook hot dogs and hamburgers. And it was like other things. Like he provided some sausage he wanted me to cook, and there was something else he wanted me to cook. And he's like, well, I'm gonna save those for myself because I can eat these later. I'm not worried about that because I'll save this for me and my family. So don't worry about cooking that part. Okay, I mean, but like things like uh, I'm not gonna nickel and dime somebody. If somebody paid for condiments, I'm not taking the condiments off the table and putting them back into back into my truck, my van. I'm not taking them back home with me. But there are certain times where I'm like, listen, like the wedding that I did last September. They, I'm trying to think. They're starting to run together, which is a good thing. I know there are certain events where I will charge for utensils, forks, knives, spoons, and things like that, and there are other events where I don't. Um, if they are saying that that's something they're going to provide, but if they say, okay, I'm going to buy 300 forks, I'm not counting 300 forks out. I'm just going to take a box of forks, and whatever they use is what they use. Whatever they don't use, I'm going to bring back to me. And unfortunately, my kids, my wife, my kids, they eat into my profits when it comes to those things that, if somebody's taking a lunch to school and they need a disposable fork, guess where they're getting that fork from? Me. I mean, there are things that it just kind of runs together. But like ketchup, mayonnaise, or I don't want to say ketchup, mayonnaise, but like there are things that, hey, you paid for that. I'm not taking that back with me. There are plenty of times when they will be, I won't say an underestimation, but there'll be events where less people show up than expected. Okay. I'm not taking the cooked food that I have back home with me. Hey, this is yours. This is prepared. There was one instance where I did an event at a school, and the lunch lady, she was invited to the summit, and or she came in, like she circled in right before we were leaving to kind of make like check up on us to make sure we left her kitchen in pristine condition. She was like, I said, listen, here's a whole bunch of food. Where do you want me to put this? And she's like, ooh, my kid's gonna eat good tomorrow. Guess what? Whatever. All right. Rick says, hell yeah, Texas is the best country on the planet. Yep. There you go. God's creation says we do leave it because we charge in advance and leave the leftovers. And does do the warmers work? Yo, let's just not talk about that, Bumpy. That was the gas turned on. That was the problem I had at my kid's current school, my daughter's current school. The freaking the natural gas for the ovens wasn't turned on because they hadn't used the ovens in the kitchen in over a year. Ah. Oh man, Russ said from a 767, LOL. I said I can't hear you, but I have to get real low. Yeah, buddy. Come on in the chat, clicking the thumbs up, then come back in the chat. All right, so Russ, yes, indeed. I like watching you cook chicken wings, left wing, right wings, yeah, all the wings. All right, I'm trying to catch up. What up, Jay? How you doing, man? Let's see. Man, these folks come in and they want to be spouting and touting. Let's see, what does this person have to say? Okay. Today? All right. Found it. No problem. Upfront estimate, then final cost, so many weeks out. From the date. Sounds good. Yep. Nice. Russ at first thumbs up from a 767. Sure enough. Do you use rental companies for plates, silverware, etc.? If you do, how do you deal with shortages? No and no. For the most part, Victor, I try not to get into that nitty gritty. I try to stay with the food stuff only. All right. And The reason I say that is because my focus is on the barbecue stuff, man. If you start trying to do too much, you're gonna be doing too much. Something is going to start lacking. So I will, if I need to provide plates, I can provide plates. If you need me to provide napkins, I can provide napkins. If you need me to provide utensils, guess what? I'm gonna go get one of those little a box of those, like, you know, the 6-piece or 5-piece or 6-piece kit. It's a fork, a knife, a spoon, salt, pepper, and a napkin. Those 6-piece kits that are individually wrapped, boom, done. All right, done. I am not going to worry so much about providing. And then one of the things I do actually, it depends on if I'm going to be on site or if I'm going to be dropping food off. If I'm dropping food off, a lot of times or more often than not, I do not talk about utensils. I will say, hey, I can drop the food off. Is there something that you need me, or do you need me to provide serving utensils? Because if I do, there's a charge for that, and that's not something that's out of my scope, or things that I can do. It's just not on the I have to do this or I have to do that, or how about this, that is not included. Okay, there's a fee for that. And the people I work with and the people who I do business with, they are more than willing and capable, more often than not, of getting those things or taking care of those things themselves. So some people just don't want to pay for that. And I'm okay with that. I'm going to make my money elsewhere. Okay. I don't need to charge you, extra amount of dollars for me to be running around 14 different places trying to find the specific tongs I want to. Nah, man, nope, nope, nope. I have other fish to fry. Neil says, okay, my friend, I got to bounce. I will talk to you later. Yes, indeed. Guys, construction is the barbecue meant to eat on disposable utensils. LOL, I'm Texas. That's what we do. Hell yeah, man. Talking about renting utensils and stuff like that. Nope, 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 nope. You lucky you're not eating with just your fingers, or you have some utensils. That catering event that I was talking about earlier, when I was looking into doing that thing for the rec center, I'm like, I price forks and knives, and I'm like, why the hell do I need forks and knives? They're gonna have hot dogs, hamburgers, and chips. Why do I need forks and knives? Like, for real? All right, so let's see what else is on my list here. Options, all right? So how about a menu up front? When I asked my wife about this, I said, hey, what's something you would want to, and I kind of said, what's something that you as the customer would want to ask me for? And she said, I would really like it if you had a menu up front where I could say, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Because if someone doesn't know what options you have or what options are available, how can you upsell it? Like, people ask me, I won't say all the time, but people ask me, hey, so the third person I spoke to this week, he said, hey, do you do this? He said, well, my wife is concerned about people who don't necessarily eat meat. What are your vegetarian or vegan options? And I'm like, okay, well, I do salmon. I'm like, there's a pescatarian option, or I can, make sure that some of the vegetables or some of the, like some of the sides don't have, animal byproducts in them. So I said, can I cater to those people who have dietary restrictions? Yes, but we'll have to figure out what extent that is. But if you have a list of things that says, do you need my string beans to be vegetarian? Do you need them to be vegan? Okay. So that's all part of having a menu kind of up front. Almost, and I wrote down like a sushi like ordering menu. Here's another one. Hired help. I've had events where I've taken the food and then the person will have folks that are going to be serving the food or dishing the food out. So I don't necessarily have to stay and be there to do that. I've also had events where they paid me to provide those folks to dole out the food. That the biggest event I've done to date, that 500 person event, they paid me to have folks on site to I had two two buffet lines set up, and I had two people on either side of the buffet line that were doling out food. Victor said, I understand. So suggest they contact the company that does provide that service. Easy solution. I like that. Now, Victor, so that's the thing, man. Like, and this is maybe, because of the delay, I'm not trying to say pawn it off on someone else. I'm trying to say, if they ask me to do it, will I do it? Quite possibly. If that's not something I do, they will be willing, more often than not. My customers, more often than not, are willing to do that themselves. They are not, say, helpless, but a lot of my customers are like, all right, this is a DIY thing, and they are willing to get in the trenches and get dirty a little bit too. What up, Taj? She said in Philly we eat with elbows and fingers. In my Ukrainian voice, yeah, man. What up, good brother? How you doing this evening, sir? Why are vegans approaching you? So, if I have a big enough event, there are bound to be vegetarians and vegans. Seriously, like dead ass. That's it. So that 500-person event, I know for sure out of those 500 people, there are going to be vegetarians and vegans. Are they going to be the most prominent people at that event? No. That event that I did last summer where I was talking about going to the backyard, there was a girl who was there and she came up to me and she's like, what? She's like, I know this is sick crazy. She's like, what? And I talked to her. She's like, what can I have as a vegetarian? Or actually, she was vegan. I'm like, what can I have as a? She's like, what can I have as a vegan? And I'm like, ooh, I'm like, that has mayo in it. Mayo's got eggs in it. I'm like, that has this in it. That's got this. I'm like, those beans have brisket in them. I'm like, bread? And I said, I cooked some vegetarian burgers earlier. She's like, really? I said, yeah. She said, where are they? I said, well, one, let me just tell you, I cooked them on the grill that I've cooked other meat on. Some people are really, really, anti that. But that's one of those things, man. It's like if you talk to enough people, you're going to find people who have the same birthday, right? That's basically it. Sean, what's going on? Let's see. God's creation said that's what we did, but now the price didn't change, so not sure how to handle. So God's creation, what? Oh, the disposable stuff, I guess, or rent it out. Which one? Get some menu list to hand out for upsell. It's a good idea. Yep. Um. So the whole thing is, people who are going to be ordering from you, if they don't know that something is an option, they won't know to ask about it or they won't know to order it. Again, it's just one of those things where I have had people ask about certain things and they're like, well, what else can you do? I'm like, you want some green beans? Dude, I had this one dude flip about me doing green beans. I'm like, why are you so excited about green beans, dog? Like, it's just green beans. He's like, I love green beans. Green beans are my favorite. He's like, I'll eat green beans almost every day. I'm like, okay, all right. But that was the thing. Like, if I hadn't got to talking to him, I wouldn't have talked about green beans. And when I say he called me later and was like, man, everyone's talking about the green beans. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. Uh, what can I have as a vegan? It's air and water. Taj, man, I'm telling you, you have to be accommodating. You cannot. I'm telling you. You know, here's the thing, dog. That I'm telling you, I guarantee it. That person that gets accommodated will remember me, and I bet you they will recommend me to someone else who's non-vegetarian, who's non-vegan, to say, "Hey, I went to this event, and this guy, even though it was a barbecue, like he had barbecue food, he had food for me, and if he had food for me, then he'll definitely be able to take care of whatever it is you need because the people who were there, like again, I hate to. I've only had a few events in the past couple of years, so I keep talking about the same ones. But that summit that I had just before the pandemic broke out, there were people there who were like, "This smells so good. I've been vegetarian for X number of months. I'm eating meat today." I'm sorry to hear that. Like, sorry, not sorry. First love, what's going on? I'm telling you, man, like you have to be accommodating because the people who get accommodated, they are the ones that are going to remember. All them other people that's just like, I'm here for the free food, they're not gonna tell anybody about me. They don't, I won't say they don't care, but it's just, that's just the way that it is, man. You know, I have people who, dude, I mean, will go to bat for me. Mr. Gibson, Mr. Gibson is one of you guys. He's a subscriber. He found my channel he found me through YouTube, and he has been ordering food from me for years now. Years. And he's like, hey, Mr. You know, he calls me first name. He's like, hey, Mr. What's going on? You know, I'm not going to keep you. I know you're busy. Man, if you only knew. If you only knew. But he's one of those people that it doesn't matter. Like, he's like, listen, I don't care what it costs. I want brisket. All right. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you. Mark said he left a like. All right. If you haven't done so, please go ahead and do so. I need a thumbs up from you, please. Taj said, I guess I just find it silly to ask a pitmaster. I don't know pitmaster, Taj. I'm just an arsonist who cooks. All right. About non-meat dishes. That's like asking me for donuts at Pagano's. But the whole thing is this, man. Sometimes I'm telling you, it's those. So I go to Hooters, right? I actually haven't been to Hooters in quite a while now that my job we moved to where we are. I would go to Hooters and not get chicken wings. There are people who don't eat chicken. Currently, during Lent, I am pescatarian. I have not eaten chicken, pork. You know, I don't do pork anyway, but chicken, beef, pork, nothing. No lamb. I've been eating only basically seafood or vegetarian stuff, vegetarian options since it's been like a week and a half, 2 weeks now, right? And I'm okay with it. Like, but there are people who are pescatarian. My cousin, Taj, I don't know if you met my cousin. She's pescatarian. She will, if I know she's coming, I'll smoke some salmon for her, and she will like kill it, right? AQ says, with the increase in meat prices, have you increased your prices? Hell yes. Grill Sergeant, he said, what's up? How you doing? He said, what up, Dash? How you doing, sir? God's Construction says, many people are going plant-based, and they may attend the company picnic. That's exactly it. So the whole thing is, and I want to say you'd be surprised, Taj, man, but dude, there are so many more people out there that have dietary restrictions. The whole thing is, they just keep it to themselves. I will go hungry before I risk eating pork a lot of times, okay? Or like today, for instance, okay? Taste tester number 2 wasn't feeling well. So he called me, hey, Daddy, can you come pick me up from school? All right. Well, I go and pick him up from school, and of course he's fine. He's like, now he's got a little bit of a cough, right? So I'm like, all right, got a little bit of a cough. And he's like, well, I wasn't feeling well. I really just want to go home. So, all right, cool. If we worked it out with them, we told them that basically during the school year, you get one sick day, right? You get one no questions asked day. And it's funny because within him sitting within like a minute of him getting in the car, I said, boy, you fine. He said, well, this is going to be my day. Okay, I'm not going to ask you anything else, right? So he said, well, can we go across the street to Burger King and get breakfast? And I look at him and I said, well, he wanted a fish sandwich. And I said, well, they don't have fish sandwiches right now. It's breakfast. It was only like 9:30 in the morning. Oh, and actually, when I reminded him, I'm like, aren't you supposed to be pescatarian? He was like, oh. So we go over to the Burger King. He's like, well, I can get French toast sticks. We go over there. They don't have French toast sticks. They're out of French toast sticks. So I'm like, well, they're out of French toast sticks. And I'm like, well, I talked to, the speaker box. I'm like, hello, ma'am. Do you have fish sandwiches right now? Or is that like a lunch option only? She's like, oh, that's a lunch option only. So guess what? they only have at Burger King, they only have pork products. So that would have meant that I wouldn't have been able to eat anything. And then they don't have anything that doesn't have meat in it for breakfast. The French toast sticks, apparently there's a shortage or the problem, something. They didn't have any French toast sticks. So if it were me trying to get breakfast for me, what I would have done is, well, you know what? The only thing they had that was not, um, didn't have meat in it was like order of hash browns or potatoes, whatever they call them there. That was it. That would have been what I would have been able to eat. So most of the time, Taj, and just not for Taj, but you know, because I know your name specifically, and I've known you for a long time. I want to make it so that you understand, you get what I'm saying. That people will go hungry. I will go without before I risk eating something. And you know, there are people who are super duper religious, who are super duper allergic, and that's another thing too. These restrictions, the dietary restrictions, are not just for religious reasons. It could be life and death for someone. Get that in your head that, hey, I know a guy who was allergic to pork. He was a parent of one of the kids in Taste Tester number two's class from years ago. He was talking, we got to talking, and I used to sell food at the school after school, and I'm like, bro, I got some pulled pork, I got some ribs. He's like, nah, man, you gotta keep that away from me. He's like, I can't even smell it for too long. I'm like, why not? He's like, yo, it makes me sick. I'm like, what? He said, I have an allergy to the pork protein, or whatever protein or whatever is in pork. He's like, it makes me sick, like ill. I'm like, what? He's like, man. He's like, I couldn't figure it out. He said, I was getting sick every now and again, and come to find out, I had to stop eating bacon. I'm like, wow, that's some stuff. They sell food at Hooters. I've been hundreds of times. Yeah, Rick. I want to admit, I'm catering, so it's cool to offer something. Yep. Uh, how you Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm always on the seafood diet. I seafood, I eat it. Yeah. Chriswell, what's going on? You said, I think you said your name was Rob. Was it Rob? What up, buddy? Just family. Shout out. First catering. Yep, catering gig. Nah, good luck with your catering event. Uh, yeah, yeah, I know. So Ty says, no pork on my fork, God. Yes, sir. I call my brother's son because he shine like one. Yo, I've been, not gonna lie, YouTube music, been on YouTube music a lot lately. And like Wu Tang, like just listening to a whole bunch of Wu Tang and like a Wu Tang channel and like Triumph and man, dude. I mean, I listen to Method Man, the or METHOD man, and the torture intro. Yo, I had forgotten about it. Like, yo, I I, I was like, I'll sew your cheeks together and keep feeding you. And I don't know why. I didn't think that was the intro to the song. Usually those were outros to the songs. So Victor said food allergies. That question definitely should be on the top 10 on that list. All right, we'll add it. Food allergies. All right, and I have it kind of on here because when I talked to my wife about it, she was talking about like options, right? Because you know she talked about the menu up front and the menu up front, but more as a way of finding out what options were available. And this was how she was kind of like, I think how she was getting into the dietary restrictions. So I'm gonna put food allergies, dietary restrictions, right? Because you know the menu up front, yeah. Do I listen to 50 Cent? Not really. I'm not the biggest 50 fan. Like, if a song plays, I'll listen, but I'm not like seeking out. Like, I'm not, and yeah, just I'm more of a Biggie, Jay-Z, Wu, Roots. Like, I won't say old school. Most Def, definitely get down with Most Def. Far Side. Big Mike, what's going on, man? Or it says Big Mike, but this is Barbecue Mike. But I know Mike is Mike Hall. Mike Hall. I saw I saw a guy on TikTok. He was like, all right. He's like, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna watch or we're gonna listen to or welcome back to listening to Mike Jones songs up until he says his name. And it was like the beat started. He was like, Mike Jones, boom. But yes, so that was one of those things. If you have seen recently on TikTok, it's one of those trends where they use still tripping and it's like doing this whole wavy thing. So I was like, dang man, I like yo, still tipping rather. Tipping on fofos. I'm like, dang yo, that song bumped, right? Or as the kids say, the song slaps. So I was like, all right, I was like, dang, I want to go out and listen to. Man, I had a whole plethora of Houston music, down south music, just playing for like a good week, and a few of those songs with Mike Jones, and Mike Jones loved saying Mike Jones. That's what's up. Not a big Tupac fan. Tupac was West Coast. I definitely grew up on the East Coast. Mike said it's cold as hell in Wyoming. Who's the best MC? Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas? I'm gonna say, you know, I don't know, man. I'm more of a Biggie fan than I am of a Nas fan, but Nas had hits like for real. And actually, I'll put it like this: I'm a bigger Biggie fan than Pac. I'm a bigger Jay fan than Nas, but all three of them are up there. Like I don't have a top five. I have like a top five at that moment, right? So Biggie for sure. Wanna be a baller, shot caller, 20-inch plays, me and Paula. Yes, indeed. Gas Creation said Ghetto Boy, Slim Thug, Screw Down South. Yeah, buddy. I mean, I found out about them cats through other folks. Like I didn't, like I knew about Philly rappers that you probably never heard of, like Schoolie D and PSK, where you guys hear about like your regional rappers and stuff like that don't necessarily make it make it mainstream. Darnell said UGK for life. All right. Mike's -2. Jesus, that's cold. So Jay is definitely up there, Sean. But the problem, and the reason why I want to say the problem, I want to put an asterisk behind Jay's name. Nas as well. Because if you look at Biggie's career and how long Biggie's career was before his untimely demise, and oddly enough, today, I think it's today or yesterday, was the anniversary of his death. I do believe so. Anyway, somebody look that up for me, please. Anyway, I think that if Biggie were still alive, Pac included, if Pac were still alive, their lyrics could have been elevated to change with the times. Jay-Z definitely changed with the times. You listen to Reasonable Doubt and then you listen to like the Blueprint album, Jay's whole style changed from 91, 92 to 99, 2000. But one of the things that Jay has that Biggie and Pac definitely didn't have was staying power and longevity. I mean, they died. Nas, I won't say he fell off, but he kind of was like, oh, bro, let me just sit on my money. And he probably did a whole bunch or made a whole bunch ghostwriting for folks that people don't talk about. Let's see. Donnie says off topic, how can I get thicker bark on brisket? More airflow or higher heat, but I don't want a thicker bark on brisket. Like I equate like a thick bark to hard baked cookies. I've said this, and I've said this for years and years and years. I am not a hard baked cookie fan. I am a soft baked cookie fan. Therefore, I like a softer bark, a more mellow bark on my briskets, because I just don't like hard baked cookies. Like I was literally, I like my teeth, and I don't want to break my teeth trying to bite in a brisket. Yep, Darnell says they all have more music than Biggie. 8 Ball, MJG, SPM. Anyone? What's SPM? I just picked up another wedding. Nice. That's what's up, Terry. Underground rappers or unsigned? Um, Definitely both. There are, like, I know cats that, man, God's construction, but at the end of the day, we love music, all genres, depending on your mood or favorite. Is Zydeco? Tosh says it's today. All right, thank you. Tosh says it's today. I saw. Actually, it was a Facebook memory. I posted something about it years ago, and I'm like, man, hard to believe it's been X number of years. Ice Cube. Today was a good day. Yes. In my youth, people used to say I look like Ice Cube. I never really saw it, but I guess round face, beard. Nah. Bumpy, yep, he said today, first love says never get high, your own supply. With that said, how do you keep from eating the food that you are selling? Over time, I just stopped. So it's been 25 years. Good golly. 25 years. Biggie's been gone. Damn. First love, you will get to the point where you will want to stop eating it. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. Sean said Biggie became a legend through death. Pac was already a legend, but not my style. But Jay's figured out the game and lasted for 30 years. That Sean, that is very eloquently said. That is spot on. But Biggie, I knew about Biggie before he died, but it was one of those things where Biggie died in '97. Biggie's music was like, let's put this into perspective, okay? Biggie died on March 9th, 1997. I was 16 years old when Biggie died, right? That being said, I wasn't buying Biggie's music because I was too young. So for folks like me, yes, he was elevated, and he got more famous. Okay, he became a legend because he died. But there were so many people that were already listening to Biggie that I knew who Biggie was. I personally just didn't buy anything from Biggie. I couldn't afford to. I'm freaking 16 years old at the time. But did that stop me from like listening to Biggie? No, because I had friends and everybody had knew somebody, and man, dub stuff off the radio. Man, I heard Biggie on the radio, but I just couldn't necessarily buy Biggie stuff. Criswell, there's no limit. I do not. I despise Master P. Sean said the greatest rapper alive died on March 9th. Yeah. Nas got a new album coming. He has a new song with Khaled. Yeah, I know. I heard, again, YouTube Music. I heard a new song from Nas, and I was like, Mike says soft chocolate chip cookies warm. Yo, man. Yo. Victor says don't focus on the bark as much as the great meat. Yep. Taj says I had my T-bone steak, cheese, eggs, and grape juice. Nice. It better have been a Welch's grape. Don't be buying no generic as grape juice just off the Pathmark. I don't even know. There's no Pathmarks anymore. But Criswell says how much do I charge for a brisket? All of it. That's how much I'm charging for brisket right now. It depends, man. I can't tell you what I'm charging for brisket because it's going to depend on what I pay for it. It used to be this is about. I can't even do that anymore. I got to find out how much it's going to cost me before I can tell you how much it's going to cost you. Mike said, have you noticed that after Tupac dies, how Puffy music took off? Well, so that's the thing. Puffy was already on a rising trajectory, all right, because he was doing remixes. And that's what a lot of people, I won't say don't realize, because he was in there. Puffy was in there, and he was doing remixes for folks. And then after Pac died, Biggie died, it was like he just started remixing a whole bunch of stuff, and that's how he made a whole bunch of money doing remixes. And then it just kind of like there was a Biggie documentary, and yo, it was crazy because it talked about how talked about like life after death. Um, and unfortunately, Puffy was in the right position to take advantage of that stuff. Tosh, no, I had expensive grape pomegranate juice. No, I do not. I am not a gamer at all. I mean, like every now and again, I'll do like a driving sim type thing, but nah, man, I'm not into gaming. Nope. I was talking to some of my coworkers on the range the other day, and I was like, "Yo, I've never played Call of Duty. Never. That was such a time to be alive." You're right, Sean. You know what's crazy though is I I was late to the party even though I lived through it. That's what's nuts. So I was the older brother, right? And I had a cousin that was older than I was, but he's 15 years my senior. And it's hard to believe that now. 15 years? Shit, is it 15 years? I don't know. But he was the one that was kind of putting me on to different music. And, at the time, um, oh man, I am drawing a blank. But it wasn't necessarily, it wasn't necessarily Biggie that he was putting me on to. Tasha, so have you ever catered a breakfast? No, I have not ever catered breakfast. Now, that's a good question. No. I'm trying to think, I mean, I could definitely do like brisket and eggs, pulled pork omelets, chicken omelets. But no, I've never catered breakfast. I usually, like, people will have my food as leftovers for breakfast. That for sure. But never specifically catered a breakfast. You ever listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire? Hell yeah, man. I won't say I grew up on that, but yes, man. Yo, September, one of my favorite songs. D-Dubs, is too many buttons on the controller for me now. Yeah, man. Dude, I'm telling you, it's one of those things, man. I am old school, man. I want the directional pad, and like even the place. Like I'm good with a PlayStation. Was this the directional pad? Don't give me that joystick thing, yo. That thing. Nope, no good with it. No good with it. I mean, I'm good with the directional pad. Like the Genesis. Remember Genesis? It was directional pad, and it had like 3 or 4 buttons. Boom. PlayStation directional pad. X, Y, Z, whatever that they were, X triangle, Y, Z. That's what I need. What up, Johnny? How you doing this evening? God's Construction said Nintendo for me. She said I'm old. She said I think it's he, which, I didn't get your pronoun isn't in your name there. I don't want to misquote because man, let me just tell you, what is it? Chocolate Capricorn. She jumped down my throat. I made a mistake and said he, talking about her. She was like, not really. It's exaggeration, but you get what I'm saying. Look, are you one of them folks that when you play Mario, in order to jump, you would go like this with the controller? I know I did it. Cash Money taking over for the in the 2000s, yeah. What's funny? Crystal says, "Do you remember on your Sega Genesis Mortal Kombat?" Yo, do I? And actually, it was funny. Uh, we have a PlayStation 4, PS4, I think it is. Again, that's how much I care, how little I care about it. But I came in the house one day, and I can't remember. It must have been after I was on the range. I came home. My wife was doing, I think, my son's hair, and they were playing Mortal Kombat, and I walked into it. They're like, "Daddy, here's the stick," and I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just pressing buttons. But like vividly remember, and Taj grew up not too far from where I lived. Walking to Cheltenham Mall, playing in the arcade, and Taj and I have mutual friends that were like stayed in arcade a lot, a lot. Um, that was just funny. He said, "You don't know how many breakfasts you catered at the kid's house." Yeah, man. If you don't know, that's him. He's talking about himself. Sorry, I am. I when I touch on the screen too long, it zooms in, and obviously I have to fix that. So that's why that weird thing happened. Heck, did that comment about brisket get through? What comment about brisket, Victor? About the cost of brisket? Oh yeah, he said don't focus on bark as much as great meat. Yeah, I guess that's what you're talking about, referring to. First Love said New Edition is the greatest boy band of all time. She said, or they said, yeah, I said it. I don't know for New Edition. I'm thinking Boys to Men, Boys to Men, and yes, my Philadelphian is showing. Okay, Boys to Men had way more albums. Boys to Men is still out there doing their thing right now. Uh, Mike said Atari. Hell yeah, man! I remember playing Pong on Atari. Shoot. Tosh said ribs and grits be slapping. Hey, Jimmy's out there with the reminder. He says time to hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. All right. God's creation says, you good? It's an us. All right. Well, welcome to the house party. That's what's up. You still get anxious excited about large cooks? Hell yeah, man. I get anxious about every single one, dude. I mean, large cooks, small cooks, dude. I cooked 3 racks of ribs this past weekend, and they were for 2 of the 3 were for a friend of mine. Well, they ended up all going to a friend of mine, but my friend, excuse me, that's 2. I look. I'm sorry, Jimmy. I know Jimmy always wants to know. I did not. You know what? We're going to take a nip. Actually, Jimmy, I'm sorry. I got to pull out the big dog. Hold on 1 second. I have a special guest on the live stream. Me and Taj and I go back. It is 2022. Taj and I go back to 95, 96, catching a bus to high school. So I've known Taj since high school, right? But Taj knows about this right here. I every time Taj comes onto the live stream, this is what we doing. Yes. That says 150 proof. Taj. Salute. Whew. You can set my breath on fire right now. If I were to exhale hard enough, I think my laptop would catch on fire. Yo. Man. My goodness. My buddy Rush, who's one of my best friends with Taj, I talk about it all the time. He is from Trinidad, where they make this punching. Yo. And he used to come back from Trinidad and he would have a bottle of punching and he would have a Taurus shot glass. And I'm like, yo, Rush, you got to clean the glass. Alcohol killed the germs. Rush, yo, let's clean the glass. No need to clean the glass. Alcohol killed the germs. Like, yo, that was the most gangster but real stuff that I ever heard. Like, yeah. So Bumpy said, and I'll just read it again. He says, Dash, you still get anxious, excited about large cooks? Yes, indeed, I do. You know, it's one of those things, man. I don't know if I will. I'm gonna say I don't know if I'll ever get used to it. I get anxious almost every single time. There's so much that can go wrong that I don't always think about those things that go wrong. It's just one of those things where I'm like, all right, let's make sure I do this. I try to do things systematically to reduce the mishaps. Oh, sorry, Victor. No. Sean said I'm going with Drew Hill. I fight people on my Facebook feed for years behind this. Don't. No way, Sean. What are you talking about? Boys to Men did so much more than Drew Hill did. Drew Hill had more hits, but Boys to Men had the staying power. Like I said, they are still touring today. Look, Darnell funny. He said, first off, we should have been charging $36 a pound for brisket a long time ago. Chris Wells said, briskets and gravy. Yeah, man. New edition is still out there, coming to Charlotte in May. Exactly. What do I know about Crown Royal Apple? A lot. Oh wait. Here, let me just show you how much I know about Crown Royal Apple. I have, well, hold on. So there's a peach bag. Here's another peach bag. Here's a peach bag. Here's an apple bag. Mind you, that's ammo. I keep ammo in those bags. All right. This is my range bag. It stays at my feet. You know what I mean? I'm saying. You know what I mean? I'm saying. All right. Stays at my feet when I'm sitting in the family room here. What is this? But I know about Crown Apple quite a bit between Crown Apple and Crown Peach. Oh yeah. Yep. Anyway, this is all ammo I picked up off of the floor while I'm working. I need to go through it and actually sort some of the 5.56 and 223 out for some of the more common calibers. This is the pistol round bag, and I have a dedicated 9-round bag, a 9mm bag that I've separated out. And this last weekend, I took and filled up this thing, 50-round drum mag, and used a new pistol. And this is clean ammo. So this one goes in this green bag. So clean ammo, never, I know reliable. Like if I'm doing like specific targets, or I've even done a competition. I'm like, I need to use my clean ammo. But other than that, I'll use the ammo I found on the floor or picked up first when I'm testing stuff, or even at the range. I'm like, man, we'll mess around. So yeah, Todd says salute. Yep. You still didn't make that face. No, I did not, Jimmy. I did not. That 188, yo, that's some stuff. That Forest Park hit different. Yeah. You were good at shooting. Yo, man, listen. Yeah, Mike, and you know what's crazy? This is 3 of them, right? I know I have another one, and look, I know there's another one. So here's another one, all right? Because I was like, I'm tired of this thing just kind of sitting around. So I put it in the bag, right? I put it in the bag, right? Why am I going to buy a bag when I have bags already? I feel like, oh look, here's another one sitting on the table. Those are peach bags, right? Just think about this. I'm gonna kind of give you a level set. My wife threw away a bunch of my peach bags and a bunch of my apple bags. She threw them away. I don't mess with tequila, like, at all. How you drinking Crown Apple? I tried it on the rocks, and it's too sweet. Nah, man, I drink it straight up, or with some ginger ale, even with some cranberry juice. It's fine. Straight on ice. I refresh, now your lips and voice match. All right, well, thanks, Johnny. My lips and voice not matching. I mean, if you're into it. I went to Academy and they were charging $20 for 50 rounds of 9mm. I don't like it there. Unfortunately, Sean, I'm gonna need you to keep buying your ammo from Academy because I have shares of Academy. So please and thank you. But no, like real talk, I can go to Bass Pro and I'll get. Oh, hey, there are. Let me see. What was herders? It was like 100 rounds of herders for 30. I think it was $30 or $35. So it was like just like 35 cents a round. But just say, yep, with the Crown Royal, you get some pretty bags. With Jack Daniels, you only get great whiskey at an affordable price and a square bottle. I will send you a recipe to go with that peach. Oh, hell yeah. I think I have had Mexcal. So Taj, my baby brother came down here not too long ago with his fiance, and they brought tequila with them. And I'm like, yo, I don't normally drink tequila, but y'all brought tequila, so I'm drinking up y'all tequila. And I'm like, I'm at home. Why am I not going to drink up y'all tequila? So I think it was mezcal, but do not quote me. I am not a real big tequila fan. Like, I steer clear of the tequila. What's better, a 38 or a 22? It depends on what you can do with either. A 38 is just like a 38 is a short 9. I mean, honestly, I would actually pull it out because I do have both rounds right here. And I can show you. But 22, the beauty about 22 is that there's less recoil. So if someone is going to be trying to get back on target and they're shooting 22 or 22 LR, if they can get back on target and put rounds on target reliably as opposed to going like pow, 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 missing everything, then the 22 is better. As far as stopping power, the 38 is going to have a higher, like if you had one shot, you know, you hear people talk about one shot, one kill, one of those type things. Yeah. Hey, that's what's up, Taj. Hey, whenever you we'll link up. You know, I know it's not going anywhere. Sean says he's yelling, Jack Daniels is not whiskey. Mike says, Dash, would you drink some caramel apple shine? Yes. I drink all types of shine. It's just my preferred shine is clear. I like it in the 1 to 140, I like 1 to 130 proof. That's my wheelhouse. Don't pull them out. Oh, I know, Tosh. Trust me. Otherwise, Saturday is going to be, yeah, which means having a just cook timeline to beat the rain. I wish I could charge a weather fee. Dude, just cook ahead of time. The one you can shoot better is better. There you go, Sean. I agree. You know, so many people that come into the range and especially with women, their husbands, boyfriends, brothers, cousins, they want to be like, no, you can't shoot anything less than a 9mm. Why? Why? Like, let me ask you this. If she had one shot and she took her one shot and missed, or like she missed, versus being able to put shots on target with the 22, wouldn't you rather her have a 22? Like people who like some people are just dumb. Like really, that's my thing. When you come to Kansas City, we're gonna drink some Crown Royal. Say less. Victor said, as long as the tequila is 100% agave, that's going to be great. Sure. Let me talk to my brother. Ours is between 140 and 180. Say less, Mike. Say less. The P.O. box is down in the description below. And if you need my address, send it. Send it. I will, I can be a willing participant. You know, Victor's right. High-grade tequila is good. Taj, man, there's certain things I will defer to you on, and one of those things will definitely be tequila. I just know that I had a bad experience. I don't remember being in Mexico. I drank so much, got so much tequila. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Bumpy said, yeah, he's cooking early. Let her shoot was comfortable, exactly. Good night, Royals. Yes, Mr. Fishy Isaac. He says, "Hey, yo, what's going on? Peace, love, and light." Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank you so very much for joining us. Thanks. Us. Thank you. Us for joining us. See what I did there? Have I done the cook-off? Yep, steak cook-off. That was about it. I don't really do much competitions. I'm not big into competitions. Like same thing with I won't say same thing with shooting, but I did one pistol competition so far. I'm just too competitive. Like even with my coworkers, we'll put a dot we have these like stickers. We'll put a single sticker on a piece of cardboard and send it out to 20 feet, and like first one to hit it, we just get bragging rights. Rich is so happy to finally catch you live. We love you, Dash. You're a big inspiration for us starting our barbecue business. Well, thanks, Rich. Congratulations and best of luck. So glad to hear. So, Rich, what you might want to do is go back and down my selector. Come now, rewind to the beginning of the live stream. I apologize, I was a little late today, but I talked about things that you want to ask when booking an event. All right, so I'm just going. Let's for those of us who were tardy to the party, let's just go ahead and recap. Right. So we talked about a date and a duration. First question you're going to ask is what day do you want to have this event on? And then you need to go to your calendar right at that exact moment and say, oh, I have something on that day or not. And then the duration. Hey, is this something you want me to be on site and stay there with you for? And then how long, right? So you can kind of start thinking like, well, how much money am I going to make, right? All right, next thing you want to get the point of contact information and possibly a backup point of contact information. Darnell brought up a very valid point. If you don't know how to get in some place or you can't get in touch with somebody, what are you going to do? The type of event / occasion can be very important to know. I talked about how I did a wedding reception and I was underdressed, like grossly underdressed, and I felt kind of bad. Next one on the list is going to be the number of guests, okay? How many people are you expecting? Because then you can kind of gauge whether or not, here we go, whether or not that's something you can handle. You talk about somebody like, oh, well, we have a whole entire college campus of 2,500 people. We have an entire high school of 1,500 people. I'm going to need some backup, all right? I might not be able to handle that on my own. So here's the next one, and I know this one is going to be a touchy subject. You need to ask what the budget is, because if you don't ask what the budget is, you can waste your time, a lot of time, going back and forth talking to someone that has what is it? What did Robin Leach talk about? Caviar dreams, one of those type things. Yo, you don't want to do that. Trust me when I tell you. Asking me how I know how much time I've wasted talking to folks who just can't afford me, and I refuse to discount my services and to discount my value or reduce my worth to meet someone's budget. Nope. Here we go. Next thing is going to be, all right, is this something that you want me to do like some on-site cooking, or am I just going to cook everything ahead of time and drop everything off? Or do you need me to stay on site and help with service? Okay, those are things that you need to know. Food wanted. All right, when I say food wanted, I'm talking about, are there any special requests? Are there any dietary restrictions? Are there any food allergies? Those are all of those things that are combined. You need to ask those questions up front, because if you have, oh, my mother-in-law is a vegetarian, well, I need to figure out how to appease the mother-in-law who might be one of the people that are contributing to paying for the food. Just saying. How they heard about you. There's another one that you kind of just throw it in there in the middle or towards the end of the conversation, because if they say, oh, I heard about you from this person, that person, I need to say thank you to that person. I need to say, oh, okay, when I did that event over the summer and then I got work, or I got an order for Thanksgiving turkey, all right, that was good. That worked out. All right. So let's talk about doing site visits, okay? When you do a site visit, hey, can I come and see where I'm going to be setting up? Hey, can I come see what it is that it is, or where it is I'm going to be doing anything, so you can check for amenities. You want the limitations of the equipment that you have, and or find out the things that you can use, can't use, and then how about this? Make sure everything works. All right. My wife talked about this when I asked her, like, hey, what are some things I should ask about? She said, well, maybe not. This is something that you might not ask about, but this is something you can try to provide a menu up front. You know, sometimes people just don't know what you can do. And if you tell them, yes, I do this, or no, I don't do that, their expectations are set. And sometimes that can be a way to upsell someone, because if they didn't know that something was an option, they won't know to ask for it. We talked about, or one of the other things too, hired help versus like service, or servers. Okay, that's something that you can talk about. One of the things I don't have necessarily on my list is how much or how little you want to do. Like, do you want them to bring? Do you want? Does that person want you to bring like all of the paper plates, the utensils, serving things, all of those things like that are things that you can talk about and discuss. And guess what? They're billable, so you can charge for that stuff. And then I guess your deposit and how you're going to run your deposit, when and or if you get to that point. And then last but not least, because in our current market, you are going to have to tell people that the the thing that I'm giving you is an estimate. That is not going to be your final price, because ask me how I know. Again, your final price needs to be closer to when that final event is, because you do not want to have a final price and then lose money. Like I said, ask me how I know. All right, Christmas. I got my first brisket in Detroit, and then came out excellent. Nice. Uh, Back to the list. Nice. Yes, everyone keep talking about Q and Pew so we can get a 4 hour live while I'm at work. You said you were working until 3 in the morning? Jesus. Would you do turkey as a menu option, broken down in a dark white or pulled turkey? Hell no, man. Not really. I did, alright. Funny, Bumpy, you say this. Mr. Gibson, what's going on? I was talking about you earlier, sir. Oh, all good stuff. All good stuff, I swear. I was telling everyone how Mr. Gibson is someone who found me on YouTube, and found me on YouTube, saw that I was actually cooking and kind of knew what I was talking about. And he ordered food and has been ordering food for me for years. It's been a good 3 years I've been taking orders from Mr. Maybe even more than 3 years, possibly even four. Now that I really think hard on it. But anyway, Bumpy asked, would I do a turkey as a menu option, broken down into dark and white or pulled turkey? So Bumpy, funny. A few weeks ago, I talked about, I did an event, and when I say I did this event, it's for a friend of mine, car friend, who lives in Southern Maryland. It was a good hour and a half drive plus to get to where he lives, like way down past, like past all of it. All right, it was past all of it was how far down I was in Southern Maryland, and they were having an engagement party. Him and his now fiance. Excuse me. I'll keep count. That was number 3. Him and his now fiance. And he asked me to cook a turkey for them. And I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. When he asked me to cook a turkey, he's like, can you break the turkey down? I'm like, I didn't find out how broken down he wanted the turkey. So what I ended up doing was, I cut the back out. I cut it into, like, I don't say quarters, but I cut it into 4 different pieces. Like, I didn't cut the wings off of the. Or no, I did. Cause my wife was sitting in the kitchen, and I was like, well, how much should I break this down? She's like, I don't know. She's like, just break it into major components. The wings, the breast, the legs, and the thigh. So that's what I did. And then she's like, well, should you have like tried to slice up the breast and the thighs? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, and when I tried to contact him, I didn't get in touch with him. Victor. See, Victor has such a great memory. He said, make sure everything works. The infamous rotisserie incident. Yo, That event was 2 and some change years ago, maybe even 3 at this point. And the whole thing was it was rental equipment, and the set screw on the rental equipment like quit, and I didn't have a Allen wrench to reset the set screw. Screwed me. Fishy Isaac said $2.99 for brisket in Georgia. I had to get 5 of them, man. 5 of them. You should have got all of them. Smoke a goose. So Todd, smoking goose is kind of like smoking duck. You really don't want to smoke duck. You want to cook duck hot and fast. Goose as well, because it's so fatty. And then one of the other things too, with that, you want to cook it rare. So smoking those types of meats, just because I can smoke it doesn't mean I should smoke it. It's not something that lends itself to smoking. Put the video in the chat. That was a good one. Put the video in the chat. Oh, man. Hold up. Let's see if I can find it for you. Dashboard. Content. What did I call that? Something like wrong. No. Hold on. Wrong. Nope. Nope. Crap. What did I call that thing? Equipment? Using no equipment. Rental equipment breaks. So let's see. RENTAL. Ha! New 5-foot grill in the rental grill problems. Here we go. Thank you. Oh, wait. That's not the right one. I want this. Oh, crap. Rental. The problem with having over 1,000 videos on YouTube is sometimes I don't remember what I call these things. Rental. This is the one. Why do I have... this one. All right, this is the first one. Okay. All right. So, here we go. There's part 1. And crap. NCAL. And here is part 2. Part 2. All right. Let's see. Gosh, that's interesting. Interesting. Yeah, so Taj, it's one of those things, man. So, like, I wouldn't smoke a T-bone, okay? Or I wouldn't smoke a what's another cut of meat that just doesn't lend itself to like really being smoked? Like a flank, all right? Or flap. Not a flank. I'm thinking of like a skirt steak or a flap. Skirt steak, you want to cook it hot fast, right? Boom. Like hot and fast, done. Same thing with goose and duck. Like you eat goose and duck very rare, and if you cook it past rare, it like goose and duck also is one of those acquired tastes. Though they are very minerally, and it's hard to kind of to explain that to people. They taste like liver. They taste like liver. They are very minerally, like organ meat. That's what they taste like to me. Oh, yo, Bumpy. Yeah, he's watched that video before. He said that head chef lady was no help. Nah. Victor says Dash actually did a great job dealing with it, but it's a great lesson for all of us. Yeah. Todd said I did a duck on a rack with an apricot glaze. Is that Jones fatty? Yes, indeed, very fatty. That's just, but the fat lends itself to high heat cooking. If you cook a duck at low heat, it just tastes like rubber. Just rubber. It tastes like rubber, 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 and it is off-putting, off-putting for sure. Bumpy said, facts, Victor. Yes, indeed. Skirt steak. Yep, here we go. Victor said, ice cream. I wouldn't smoke ice cream. Speaking of ice cream, I'm about to go get some ice cream. It would be nice if we could add gift to the chat. Yeah. Quail. Never cooked quail. I'm gonna say never had it. Never cooked quail. I've had quail eggs, little things are tiny. I got big old meat hooks here. Me trying to crack a quail egg, just yeah. I think last time I had quail eggs, they were hard boiled, and they were still. It was like a tic tac. Yeah, man. Mm-mm-mm. Bumpy, I don't know, y'all. Figure out a way to keep me talking. I need to actually separate. So when I told myself the other day I was gonna separate the because I ended up doing it. 'Cause the one bag just this is like I said, this is ammo that I picked up off the floor from the range. And as people leave, I like I clean up the stalls, whatever. I'm out there on the range as a safety officer, so I clean up the stalls and people drop ammo on the floor, and I'm like, whoop, man, I laugh and I joke, but I tell people, I'm like, yo, these are my tips, man. Just leave the ammo on the floor. I tell people, I'm like, leave the ammo on the floor. Some people were like, really? And I'm like, yeah. Other people were like, hell no. You know how much it cost me? I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm trying to take my dimes out. I don't have to pay. But every couple weeks, I will dig into the bag or one of the bags or multiple bags and go to town. Victor says, as a rule, waterfowl shouldn't be smoked, but upload pheasant, quail, grouse, etc. You're good to go. But upload? What? Victor? Maybe there's a correction coming. Yeah, I do. Upland, not upload. But upland. Oh, upland, I guess. Is that a type of bird? A fowl? Learn something new every day. Yeah, tomorrow I'll be up tomorrow at 5:30 in the morning. Yeah, I gotta wake up. Taste lesson number 2. He has baseball practice first thing in the morning on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Oh, goodness, excuse me. But yeah, me waking up at 5:30 is kind of like sleeping in a little bit. On Mondays, I'm up at 4:15. I used to be up at 4:15 every single morning, except for Thursdays. But that was the reason why I started doing this live stream. Fun fact: the reason why I did the live stream on Wednesdays. Taj, I've been getting way more sleep than I used to, dog. For real, way more sleep than I used to. But anyway, fun fact: I started doing the live stream on Wednesdays because of my schedule and the fact that I went to work late on Thursdays. So that was like my day to sleep in. Yes, is waterfowl or an upland. Oh. Okay. Learn something new. So, yes. Where did I put it? Oh yeah, here we go. Some of you guys might appreciate this. So I saw a guy popping this off the other day, Well, the other day, it was Sunday. Right, that's the day I work on the range. So it was Sunday, and he set this out, and he pulled this out. And I looked at this, and I was like, what is that? And I just kind of remembered it said consistency, right? And I'm like, well, damn. So I was at work on Monday, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna look that thing up. And it says it's pistol consistency for use with warm up and cool down. And the whole thing is, you set this target up to 3 yards. All right, 3 yards, 15 feet. These are 1-inch circles. Okay. Each one of these 1-inch circles is one shot. Each of this I think is a 3-inch circle, is 2 shots. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. Right? And it's meant to help with your consistency and accuracy, because it gets you a good grip, good sights, and a good trigger. Will carry your pew to on site since you can carry now. So I do. Oh yes, I will. I will definitely. Mike said, "What is this sleep that you speak of?" Victor asked, "When will I start up reloading?" Nope, not for me. Not for me. I do have I have been, I won't say collecting, but the brass, like certain brass that it's just kind of odd. It's just, don't tell my wife this is up there, right? You guys see those like this? This goes up here, right? It's one of those things where I just kind of toss it up here because I sit here a lot. But some of the odd brass, like, there's, come on, focus on this. 300 Win Mag, and you can't really. Wait, let's do it this way. Here we go. 300 Win Mag. There's 500 Smith & Wesson. Dude, one of these, dude, it was a lipstick round. Dog, when I say it was like 800 grains. This is the 50 AE, the Action Express from the Desert Eagle. All right. And so it's like, here is a regular 9, all right? So this is a casing for a 9. This is the casing for the 50 Desert Eagle, for the 50 Action Express out of the Desert Eagle. This is you. This is the dude she tells you not to worry about, all right? But so some of the brass, like odd brass, 300 Win Mag, but some of the odd brass I hold on to. So there's a 4570. This thing was nuts. 4570 government. But yeah, some of the bigger, badder rounds I hold on to, and or casings that find their way into my pocket. That I'm taking stuff out of my pockets and I find a casing, I'm like, I'll chuck it up there. I might actually not start reloading, Victor, but I might start taking a pocket full of brass with me when I leave the range, and getting money. I think I looked, it was like $2.25 a pound or something like that. And you got until June 22nd to get you at least one share of Google to get in on that 19-1 stock split. He said, thank me later. Yeah. What a customer that you carry? No. Why? I do a pretty decent job of concealing. And if it falls out, or it's one of those things where I just have to be mindful. And even still, it might be one of those things, Bumpy, where I will at least have it with me if it's not on me. But more often than not, it'll be on me, and I will. I mean, it depends on where I go. I might inform the customer and say, "Hey, this is for my safety." But other than that, yeah. Shut up, Victor. Don't wish that upon me. Yeah, yo, Darnell, you know it's crazy. My portfolio went up 3% today. Now, mind you, it lost 1.5% yesterday. So all it did was make up what it lost yesterday. But oh my God, I almost say I'm getting crushed. Absolutely crushed. But dog, I am not back up. I am down. I am down in my portfolio, and man, I could, it would be nice if it went up. I'm still trying to get back up to where it was, but it went down. Today is Wednesday. This coming Friday, I have another distribution going into the brokerage, and goodness, I'm like, what am I gonna buy? It's so funny. People are like, oh man, with gas prices going up so high, I'm gonna buy in the Exxon. Yo, I've been had Exxon. Like, you need stable stocks. Fuel prices always going up. Why would you not have Exxon? Like, I'm hearing people talking about, yeah, you get Exxon for a swing trade. A swing trade, man. I'm about to get out. All right. I held on to Moderna too long. Now I'm stuck with it. I'm not stuck, but I'm holding. I'm still up like 150% or so. Well, no, 100%. But I was up like 300%. I held on too long. I should have got out at its peak. And then, yeah, I didn't. Should have got out and bought something else. I'm not going to make the same mistake with Exxon, because it's going to be the highest it's going to ever be soon. Soon. Anyway, what else do you guys have going on? That's already balancing my portfolio, man. Month, commercial, and legacy companies. Huh. I gotta figure out how to do that. My portfolio is not nearly as big as, and I've only been at this for a year and a half, 2 years. Actually, it's been 2 years. It'll be 2 years at the end of this month. And I mean, considering what I've been tossing into it, I think I'm doing okay. Yeah, REITs. Those are real estate trusts, right? And nothing in my portfolio pays monthly dividends, but quarterly a couple. Working on saving for a newer pickup truck. Yeah, it's one of those things, Mike, where I don't know. Right now, the used market and the new market is so crazy with vehicles. Kind of depends on what you're using it for, I guess. But everybody's talking about getting freaking electric vehicles right now. I know that's for damn sure. Everybody. I mean, fuel prices gone outright. Yo, I saw diesel prices local to me. It was $5.54. $5.54 per gallon. Per gallon. $5.54 per gallon. For context, it was $4 a week ago. Not even. Victor said he's got to get to bed. Laura would have been proud of you tonight. Not buying petroleum shares. Damn glad I have a hybrid car. I get 40 to 50 miles per gallon. Dang, no. I wish I had a full-on electric car. Seriously, Victor, you driving an electric? Really? Huh. I don't think I ever knew that. Or Or is it a Prius? Maybe we have talked about that. Todd says he's out. Joe got one. He said the Tesla's weird. By law. Yeah. Oh, really? Have to return 90% to shareholders. SPG, Stag, SYY. SPG, STAG, and what was the last one? SYY. SYY. All right. Victor says, everyone have a great night. Mike said, my dad worked for Ford, and we get a good, I guess, good dealership. My dad has been dealing with since 1960. Nice. No worries, Taj, man. Have a good one. Tell the missus I said what's up. Thank you so very much for hanging out. I would take another shot, but, I'll be asleep soon anyway. Probably. It's my legacy company. Cisco. Okay. Actually, I have shares of Cisco. Shares of something. Computer related. I can't remember now that I'm thinking about it. Which one it is. Now you got me curious and I have to look in my portfolio. Monthly dividends. You see my truck spent $120 to fill it up today. From where, dude? I spent $65 to fill up my car from a quarter of a tank. Sorry, I see 3/4 from a quarter of a tank. Yeah. And that was the other day when fuel was $4.54. Yeah, almost 4% gain on the day. Jeez. SYY. Cisco. Yeah, I don't have it. Holy cow, it just dropped a bunch. Down to 75 up to 80. Yeah, I really wish I would have had some dry powder earlier this week. I just didn't have it. It was at 75. They pay a dividend. It looks like quarterly. Oh, they'll pay a 47-cent dividend on the 22nd of next month on shareholders as of the end of this month. All right. Throw this in a watch list right now. Let's see. Ford Fusion Hybrid basically is a gas electric. Okay. Guys. All right, Steven, you take care. Yes, indeed. See you next week. Amazon just announced a 20-to-1 split today. Nice. Mr. Fishy Isaac, be easy. Thank you so very much for hanging out. Like I said, if my company says here is your new semi and it's electric, I will retire on the spot. It just came off a 52-week high. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. It was like $80. Let's see. SPG. Salt, pepper, garlic. What? Okay, Simon Property. Those are malls. Oh, yeah. That. Golly, it's $32. $1.65. Shareholders at $3.9. Dope, missed that one. This one looks quarterly too. That one's quarterly as well. Just the price from 160 to 180. That's interesting. Definitely. Again, that's one of those things. Day late, dollar short. Put that on the watch list. I might have to switch out of Moderna. That Moderna will cover one share of that. Simon and then the Stag. Let's see. STAG. Stag. Oh, just more of my speed. 18. Oh, now Stag pays a monthly dividend. But the return this year is down. Well, that's as of right now. But I think I will be picking up this one at least on Friday. I can afford that one. And I don't mind buying 1 or 2 shares or something. 25 to 30% off the VARIERA. The cash going. The reinvestment? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. The dividend reinvestment. I don't know, man. I kind of like growing the shares because I grow the shares and I'm growing more shares because it's going back in. At least I think that's what you're talking about. But that makes a lot of sense. It does. What was it that what was I thinking of? Because you said Cisco. And I know oh, wait. That's what popped today. Marathon. Darn, it went up $13. Okay, I'll take it. And Marathon went up 14%. I'll take that too. Oracle. That's what I'm like. I know I have a computer software company. Can't remember what it is. No, I have not, Bumpy. I have not. I've been kind of sleeping. Yep, sleeping on it. Yeah, the dividend reinvestment, that'll definitely help, but I have to buy whole shares with my major brokerage account, and I don't have nearly as much funds in this as some of you guys do. So at this point, the reinvestment of my shares into, or the reinvestment of my dividends into shares is, I'll say, more profitable, but I feel like I'm doing better doing that. But it's funny, like there's certain, like I'll just buy random stuff sometimes, and then like here's one, MJ, all right. So we EFT, and like a day or two after I bought it, they not split but gave dividends. And I'm like, holy hell, that's what's up. Like I purchased it at the right time. Yeah, I bought it on 9/17, and it must have been, yeah, it was 9/17, and then I got dividends on 9/23 and on 12/30. I guess they're not doing dividends anymore. But my dividends though were 6 cents and 7 cents respectively. Yeah, I'm not making a whole bunch on my dividends. Yeah, stop buying random stuff. No, but random stuff helps out. There are times when it does help out. I mean, trust me, man. I've lucked up on some random stuff. But I don't know. I also, that's one of the other things too. I have to purchase whole shares. I can't just buy. Yeah, I know right now, which is why. So, like, I remember looking at Tilray, like Tilray, MJ, down, down, down. But like I talked about this one night. We're talking about just like random stuff. Green Sky. I bought some Green Sky, some shares of Green Sky because I have a mortgage, well, a loan through Green Sky. And I was like, well, I'm still paying them. Sure enough, I doubled my money. I was like, oh, let me take half of it out and reinvest that somewhere else. I used to work for Santander. Technically, I used to work for Sovereign, who was bought out by Santander. And I was like, all right, right now I was looking for a financial institution. That one was one of the ones I picked, and it's down 20% right now. Thank goodness I don't have that much money in it, but still down 20%. Also looked into was Citizens, was it? Yeah, Citizens Financial Group. That one I did well in. See, two random things. I was like, I want to invest in a bank. Looked into both of those, and this one I'm up 120%. So, I mean, I do okay. Win some, you lose some. Due diligence, man. Some of us have full-time jobs and are parents of three and do YouTube and have a part-time job and business we running on the side. I mean, I don't have the time to devote into what I need to. It's one of those things where and I'll be completely honest with you, the day in which I have some dry powder, right, is the day I will look hard enough to say, okay, this is the day I need to buy something. Because I can't always look at the market factors. I can't always look at those things. So, like on this Friday, I'm going to look at the real estate stuff. And I know we talked about it before, but it's down right now. So that would be when I would be like, okay, now is the time to actually buy something. But I mean, there's some things out there that I have that I'm like, oh yeah, like ExxonMobil. So Exxon is actually down 5.68% today. It was up yesterday. Oh yeah, it peaked yesterday at 87. It's down to 85. But I'm still up on Exxon. Like up 126% on Exxon. Exxon pays a dividend too, by the way. Yeah, 5 minutes to read his prospectus. I hear you. I'm just not there yet, man. I'm not there. I'm not even gonna lie and say, "Oh, I can do." No, I'm not there yet. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Yeah. Some of these things are going really well, and other things aren't. I mean, the stuff that's doing well in my portfolio was doing really well. I got in at the right time, and then other stuff is like, wow. As long as I'm still coming out ahead, I'm good with that. Let me know what you're looking at before you buy. I'll lock in your entry point. All right, I will. Definitely. All right, let's close out the investments. All right, it's 11:30. Let's see. Can we keep talking until midnight? Bumpy, you still out there? All right, so let's talk Darnell. Darnell's got a video out here. It's an hour long, right? Should we? Let's just watch this video. That'll give me something to talk about. Play. Oh. Headphones. All right, so first I can tell right off the bat you use your cell phone. You know how I know I can tell you? I can tell you use your cell phone. I can see the glare from your cell phone from the camera not being clean. Hey, Alice says pew pew. What's up, man? Welcome to the Starting Big Barbecue. Today's cook. Hold on. I like that shot, the beginning shot of the tomahawk. Hello, barbecue troopers. Welcome to the Starting Big Barbecue. Today's cook, the tomahawk steak. All right. Yeah, throughout this cook, I'll be giving you all some fun facts about the tomahawk steak. So I'm going to get set up. You look nervous. Right, all right, barbecue troopers. I'm going to speed this up. You know how I do. Nothing personal. Bone up a little bit. As you can see, the butcher did a really good job cutting this for me. He cut it right on the spot. I asked him for one. I'm going to try next time I do one of these. I'm going to try to record the whole process at the butcher shop. It took him no time to do it. But, so Darnell, one of the things to try to work on not saying ums and ahs.
End of the bone to the tip of the tomahawk, coming in at 17.5 inches. Also, this thing is weighing 4 pounds, guys. 4 pounds. This thing is a beast. It's a beast. 4 pounds of meat here. Just the bone alone, from tip to the beginning of the meat, 8.5 inches. So this is gonna be fun. Also, by the way, this is my first video. I hope I do a good job. I ain't figured out camera angles and stuff like that yet.
You're doing
so bear with
so
me.
good.
So you know,
or
when we get started.
So far, so good.
I wanted to keep this real simple. I was just gonna use just some salt and pepper. I decided it needs a little bit more of a kick. Okay. I know I'm a big fan of Texas Trinity, made by my brother down there in Texas, Rick's Barbecue and Specialties.
Yeah.
But I said, it still needs something else. And the Texas Trinity, I really wanted to use that, but I felt like I was still gonna be keeping it simple, but keeping it too simple. And I thought about using another friend of mine down there in Texas, Uncle Steve Shake. I was gonna use his competition shake powder or competition cow powder.
Cow powder, yeah.
And I think these days he's calling it competition cow shake. I was gonna use that, but then I wasn't gonna get the heat that I wanted. And I don't mean heat by necessarily something, you know, using something like a cayenne pepper or something like that. I just wanted to bring the spice level up a little bit. So after some debating with myself, and
so I want to show you guys what I'm looking at, because I'm just sitting here like watching it. This will be, Darnell, when you would turn the camera back on you and talk to the camera, as opposed to us staring at the steak and like seeing glimpses of your hands. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. Watch the ums and the ahs. But he said that he does not know how to edit yet, because what you can do. Oh snap! I just started the damn thing over. I pressed the 0.
So after going through all that, I decided I was going to go with the BBQ steak seasoning Canadian blend, and that gives me the spice that I want, and a little bit of kick and flavor that I'm anticipating getting out of this. I'm hoping that once I put this stuff on here, let it sit for about roughly 30-40 minutes, it can penetrate down into this thing. The preparation is going to be a reverse sear. The reverse sear is a process of bringing a piece of meat up to the desired temperature that you want at a low temperature. Most
so the sniffles too, man. You gotta work on that.
They do a hot and fast sear.
A7, or I guess a less,
degrees, some places 500 degrees.
Says 1,000 times better than his, because he doesn't have one.
Taking it up to a rare temperature, and they'll hold the steaks. If for somebody like me who likes a medium well,
so
they would take one of those.
Darnell at this point is Frenching the bone. The bone is already pretty well clean.
To my desired temperature.
Why are you scraping the bone, man? Just let it be.
Throwing it back into a
COVID shot 2 days earlier. Okay. Or prior.
They'll put it in an oven. They bring it up to the desired temperature that you're looking for. With the reverse sear, like I said, you know, you're going to be bringing...
These are all things you got to think about, man. Like, does that knife fold? That is a big-ass knife.
And a low heat. And also incorporating some wood chunks, something like hickory or oak. Pairs good with steak. And this thing is so beautiful. So beautiful.
I tell you, I'm not a fan of hickory, but, you know, I cook with a lot of oak.
Bring it up to about 120 degrees. Usually bring what we're going to be using is our char griller acorn. So we're going to run it at about 250 degrees to bring us up to temperature. We're going to be shooting for about one...
Why are you still scraping this damn bone, dog?
This thing is pretty thick. To make sure that it is done, I am probably going to run the internal temperature up to about 140. And then hopefully we get some carryover temperature when we let it rest. That'll bring it up to 145. If you're sharing this big thing, the outside parts will for sure be at about 130, 135 for those who like that medium rare. I'm more towards a medium well type of person. So.
But the thing is,
did a good job. I should have him clean this up a little bit more, but I can do this myself. Got my casting.
Yeah, it is.
Fillet knife here.
They
did a pretty good job Frenching it up.
When
we talk about Frenching a bone, which is most people
the big knife, you're choking up on the knife. Why not just use a smaller knife?
Frenching just means trimming. The trimming of the bone, taking some of this extra stuff off here, and it just gives a clean presentation. presentation. And while we're doing that, when it gets on the smoker, to help keep a good presentation, if the bone decides to
No,
too dark,
you're not selling this to everybody.
wrap it in foil, make sure it looks good.
And you just talked about wrapping it in foil. You just wasted. I'm not wasting your time, but
there's a notch right here in the bone.
I don't do stuff that's, I don't say wasting time, but
it's a little nerve wracking talking to yourself.
yes, definitely agree.
I'm a pretty good public speaker, but just to sit and have a conversation with yourself
and anticipate what people are going to think.
A little weird.
Starting out, so the knife is fine.
And she is heavy. Like I said, gang,
it's 4 pounds.
4 pounds. 17.5 inches long overall. The bone is 8.5 inches.
So one thing
the tomahawk steak
that I don't particularly care for is when people repeat themselves a lot. Like there was one video guy I watched a while ago. Every time he came back, like he would do something and then come back, he would say who he was again.
4 inches.
So
maybe 4.5.
He has since stopped doing that.
My cutting board is spinning. The reason I say that for me is because on the acorn, we're working with about 22. I never measured it. They call it a 22-inch groove. But I want to make sure that I have the main part of this steak directly in the middle of the grill. So the overall length
I probably
needs to be about
think
12 inches.
Gonna be
to make sure we're centered in the middle of the grill.
I would think the bone is going to be hanging off if you're trying to get it in the middle of the grill. You have a 17-inch bone, or from tip to tail.
Tomahawk steaks come from this between the 6th and the 12th rib, which are the longest ribs on the cow. So for the 6th and 12th rib,
learn something
from the loin. So you can get a total of 12 of these out of a cow. You have 2 loins, one on either side of the cow. And don't confuse the loin with the tenderloin.
Yep.
You have two loins and 1 tenderloin.
Yep.
Just like most parts in every animal, there's 2 of everything. Mine is, of course, the head, the heart, the tenderloin.
Yeah.
So
the tenderloin is, because that goes just across the back.
Don't be confused with tenderloin and a loin. 2 loins, 1 tenderloin. I know. I shouldn't be cutting towards myself. I know.
I was just about to say, man, be careful. He turned the blade up and was Frenching the bone towards his hand. Everybody always comments on me when I cut towards myself when I'm doing briskets and stuff.
And then you got this piece here, which is basically.
Now are you going? Well, I guess I should add. I'm not ask, but just keep watching. I wonder if you're going to cut the bone down or something. Because you talked about you wanting to put it on the center of the acorn.
Comes from the Longissimus dorsi, Latin for the longest one, meaning for this application, the longest ribs.
E pluribus unum.
I'm excited about this. My first YouTube video, and I decided to swing for the fences.
Sure enough.
So what better way than to do a tomahawk steak?
Man.
Funny thing about this tomahawk steak, though. I was supposed to do this for Valentine's Day, but life gets in the way.
Yeah, it's March.
This was supposed to have been done as a collaboration with my sister over there. And, call it Having Fun. Make sure y'all go and check out our channel. Subscribe and like our channel. We're actually working on getting her to 300 subscribers. And we got something planned. Along with
we gotta work on getting you to
YouTube cooks,
50.
YouTube cooks. So make sure y'all subscribe to our channel. We got something big planned. Should be fun. So let's work on getting her to 300 subscribers. And once that happens, that's gonna be fun.
All right, we're at 2x right now.
So this was supposed to have been a Valentine's Day collaboration with her and I. Like this in a way.
So
I actually went and got a tomahawk steak, and I went to the place that I got this one from. And I went on Monday to go pick it up, and they were closed. And come to find out, a lot of the butcher shops in my area are closed on Mondays. I didn't know that. So I had to rush back home. I did some Googling, and got on Instagram, found a place that was carrying.
You're at 46.
Some of my fellow YouTubers, they got to see that tomahawk steak. And they're probably going to see this in my head. That's not the same steak that you showed us. And guess what? It's not. The first one I got actually only came in at 2 pounds.
Yeah, 46.
And it was probably maybe an inch and 3/4 thick. For the price I paid, I expected more of it.
Big
more from it, I should say.
Now, huh?
See, right here. Y'all see me, I keep messing with this spot here. This is from the bandsaw. From the cut at the butcher shop. But so I did that tomahawk steak. I didn't record it. Like I said, it was supposed to have been for Valentine's Day.
I know, man.
And it was supposed to have been more about Valentine's Day. Even though it was supposed to have been my first YouTube.
We're 20 minutes into this video, and you have done nothing but scrape the bone. I'm just saying.
You also
just saying.
That tomahawk steak cooked. And I'm glad I decided to go back and say, hey, let's get that tomahawk. Let's go back.
You knew where I was going with that, huh?
Plans on buying one from. And so I go back.
And mind you, I'm watching this at 2x speed. This is one of those times where I'll be like,
DC area, you should be familiar with Eastern Market. You go to Eastern Market.
Why is he scraping the bone? Like, why? Like, really, I want to know, why are you scraping the bone? Like, it doesn't.
Meat market stand. I know, guys. I know cutting choice myself. I'm okay. Don't worry. Go to the Canals meat market stand inside Eastern Market. You get yourself one of these. It's not laid out in this case like I thought it was going to be, because I thought when I first went back in, I think it was December or January, I thought I saw it at Eastern Market.
What are you going to mess up? It's just a little bit of meat on the bone.
I thought I saw tomahawks here. So I talked to Canales. He goes by Canales. I talked to him. He said, yeah, I have it. I can cut it. Cut it for you right there.
I'm gonna snack. I've been back on combos lately.
I got to see some of it. It was cool. He put it on the spot for me. So,
like having a personal butcher, huh? These are the pretzel ones. Darn it. I like the cracker ones more than the pretzel ones.
I wanted to do one of these for Valentine's Day. And I knew I wanted to shoot it. It's my first video. First video, why not swing for the fences with it? You know, probably could have did something, I don't know, duck breast or something. No, I want to do something big for my first video. So here we are.
All right.
All right, almost got it cleaned up here.
Almost?
And don't worry, you don't have to get all of it off. It's going in the cooker.
Nah.
Some of this stuff real quick now.
I don't do pizza combos.
If you're like some people I know, you like all that gristly stuff and whatever it's called. But
Gristle, sinew.
Like I said earlier, if it starts to get.
All right, so if you're just joining me, the Starving Pig, that's Darnell. We're watching his, or I'm watching his first video here. Kind of give him a little bit of feedback on it. Combos. These are not my favorite. I picked up the wrong ones.
And to the barbecue family, guys, I told you I was coming with a video. I love my barbecue family. They've been very receptive to me and allowing them.
Receptive. I'm like, what?
Giving me education. A lot of it. A lot of stuff people want to charge you for. That's a good thing about YouTube. You put stuff out on YouTube, they want to share and educate. So I guess we're here doing the same thing. So I got a couple more cooks lined up. I got another collaboration. Oh wow! Speaking of that collaboration, it's going to be a huge, huge collaboration. I didn't even plan on talking about this, so I don't have everybody's names right now with me. But just continue to follow me, and you'll get those other YouTube channel names.
So right now, I would have like paused the camera and blown my nose or something.
So I think there's about roughly 10 of us doing a brisket collab. Those videos, I believe, are supposed to drop on.
All right, Jimmy. Thank you, sir.
28th. just some of the channels I can think of off the top of my head. We got my brother Lance from Sleeper Barbecue. Lance is out here nearby. Lance is probably 45 minutes to an hour away from me. Make sure you all go to his channel, Sleeper Barbecue. He's an up-and-coming YouTuber, and he's doing some great things on there. So make sure you go check out his channel, Sleeper Barbecue. My boy Lance.
Where is he? Where is he?
We got my man George from L5 Barbecue Junkie. Also,
Yo,
in
Freddie.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
That dude's a beast.
Freddie said I took a nap and it's still not on the grill. 28 minutes in.
Some flair to barbecue.
Oh man.
I really love it because I don't want to be.
Sorry to hear that. He said he had a fever too.
When it comes to barbecue, I like to play around. Come with some different flavors, you know. So, I'm really digging him.
Yeah.
I brought up Rick from Rick's Barbecue and Specialties.
First off, said I'm not being mean when I say this because I do 2 videos a week and he said talk less. Yeah.
He's gonna be in it. Make sure y'all go check out Rick at Rick's Barbecue and Specialties. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Reach out to Rick. Make sure you get some of his Texas Trinity. That is one of my main go-tos. I buy that stuff. I always mess with Rick. I buy it by the kilos. No joke. I buy it by the kilos. Got the black trucks and the helicopter circling. So make sure you go check him out. Make sure you get with him to get some of that Texas Trinity. He also has his beef hog, which I enjoy, and he has a new chicken seasoning called Freebird. I've only gotten to play around with it just a couple of times. Who else is in that
Checking my comments.
It's not challenge. I'm sorry. In the collaboration, the big homie Kent from SDSBBQ, he's going to be also included in that collaboration. He'll be involved. It's a list, guys. It's a list. My man John, make sure you check out John over there at Salt, Pepper, and Fire. I believe between him and Lance, I believe they organized it. I'm not exactly sure who organized it, but go check out John over at Salt, Pepper, and Fire. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. All
right.
John's doing some good cooks over there.
Charlotte.
Most of the guys that I'm mentioning are up-and-coming YouTubers. They're young channels, 500 subscribers or less. Except for Rick, except for Kent, you know. They've been around for a while. You know, growing your channel, you know, get in where you can fit in. All right, guys. So I got the bone cleaned up pretty decent, I think.
Yeah, you cleaned the bone.
You know, first time. So
if y'all
know something I could have did differently with it, let me know in the comments. Got that done. All right.
You can comments. Let's look and see what they say.
It was crazy. I laid out 6 pairs of gloves. I didn't put them on. But that's fine. That's fine. We'll get started with the seasoning here. So what we're going to do here, we're going to use a binder. And we're going to use this red wine vinegar here. It's going to probably give a little bit of flavor to it. But the main purpose of this is to help our seasoning stick to the meat.
Never have I ever.
So sprinkle this on. I'm not going to go in heavy with it. It's fine. Rub it down. Bring the bone. Rub that. Smells pretty good. And, you know, red wine pairs pretty good with beef. Sure
red wine, yes. With red wine vinegar?
Rub on here.
I don't know about that.
You can use olive oil. You can use mustard.
Again, never have I ever.
If it's wet coming out the package, you can just season it as is.
I would ask you how it turned out, but I'm just going to wait and be patient.
Pretty good with beef. I might spritz this while it's cooking with the red wine vinegar. Just to make sure that we maintain, well, I'm sure we don't have to worry about losing any moisture. I just want to make sure that I keep the outsides moist. And also that moisture is going to help attract
smoke.
So smoke likes to stick to moisture. So that's how we're going to do that. So as it's cooking in the smokers, the surface is going to dry off. And we're going to use some of this red wine vinegar to make sure the surfaces stay wet and attract smoke. All right, so let's go in with our seasoning. This is a big cut of meat, so you don't have to worry about overdoing it too much. Some people might look at it like, wow, that's a lot, but it's not. During the smoking process, as the fat and stuff starts to render down, a lot of the seasoning's gonna come off. And
yes, indeed.
throughout the cooking process. You can add
All right, that's what's up, Darnell. Like I said, I never have I ever, but
let me come from this angle.
I am.
Make sure y'all see that. Make sure you pat it in.
I'm no expert. I just cook.
We want to make sure that we.
I don't say what I like.
This up pretty good.
But that's end up what I cook. Thanks, Freddie. Freddie said he'll give him a follow. Be interested to watch the group. Definitely.
You gotta make sure we get some spinalis for sure. The spinalis is just, you know, the rib cap. Have some fat on it. It's gonna melt down real good. That's where the flavor's gonna come. The boy's gonna get a lot of flavor on it. There's gonna be a lot of flavor. I promise you, barbecue troopers, there's gonna be a lot of flavor. And don't rub your rub in. All you do is rub it off. So don't get fooled by seasonings being called rubs. Don't rub it. You want to press it in there. It's going to be a slow process, so the salt is in the seasoning. It's going to pull moisture out and bring some of these flavors in. Not the big pieces here. They're not going to make it inside. They're too big. But that salt's going to pull some of that liquid back in. So that liquid will have that seasoning on. Man, this is a big girl. It's a big girl. Speaking of girls.
How you gonna say speaking of girls and then pause?
Speaking of girls, so y'all heard me talk about the spinalis earlier. And some of you might say, the spinalis, I've heard of that. But I thought that only applied to ribeyes or cowboy steaks.
That is...
So, the tomahawk steak is a ribeye steak.
Yeah, it's just thicker.
We just have the extra long bone here for the for presentation and shock and all, the shock value of it all, you know. If you actually take this bone out of here, you have a ribeye. It's still a bone in ribeye. You don't have to handle it. And the only difference between the tomahawk, the cowboy steak, and the cowgirl steak is why I said, speaking of girls. So on your cowboy steak, this is going to be gone. It's going to be roughly a 2-inch cut steak, maybe 1 3/4 inches. And it's going to have this spinalis. Our cowgirl steak, same size, but the only thing missing on the cowgirl steak is the spinalis. Yeah, I didn't make the rules. Don't culture council.
Done out.
I ain't got nothing to do with all that. I didn't come up with these names.
I don't know how your kitchen is set up, but I wouldn't have done this on top of my stove only because it's making a mess.
Smells great.
One of the things too, when I season on aluminum foil, so that I'm not dirty in a cutting board or anything like that, and I can pick up the whole piece of foil and take it out to the cooker.
Montreal steak seasoning, if you're trying to figure out what you want to use on steak, you always run with that, especially if you just don't want to be plain Jane with it, using just salt and pepper, or just salt and just pepper. Use that Montreal steak seasoning, but like I said, I wanted to take it up a notch this time, so we're back with the Canadian steak seasoning, which, I don't know, Montreal is in Canada, right?
Yeah, it is.
I guess McCormick might already have the name coin, so they had to come with, okay, we're just going to take a whole country, and we're just going to call it Canadian steak seasoning. But I'm going to tell you this, 2 different flavor profiles. This stuff smells fantastic. Take some of that.
So, just be careful with your cross-contamination too. Touching the raw meat and then touching the bottle and touching everything else. No.
We're going to set the acorn up for 250 degrees. I'm going to use about a half a pound of charcoal and a half a pound of hickory wood chunks.
Bum is inspired.
Let this thing do its thing in the acorn.
Oh, excuse me.
All right, guys. So I think we see.
Bumby, don't you have an acorn?
I'm going to let this sit for about 30-40 minutes. And I'll bring you guys back.
45 minutes into an hour and 2-minute long video. All right.
Okay, barbecue troopers. As you can see, we got the tomahawk on the acorn. We're running at roughly 265 degrees. I might crank the temperature up to about 275. As you can see, it's dark outside now. Kind of got a late start with this cook. I actually started early, but my girlfriend has an eBay store. She was trying to get orders together. I had to stop and help her out with that. We had to pull, I think, 11 or 15 orders for a store and get those shipped out today. So I'm behind, but we're gonna make this happen. And yeah, that's how it's gonna go. And I'm gonna come back probably in an hour and a half. And we're gonna check on the bark of the steak, actually, and come back and see if we need to spritz it. But other than that, we should be okay. It's getting cold out too, so I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time out here.
It looks good.
I'm gonna put the temperature up to 275.
I would have liked to see like the shot a little, like pointed down a little more.
About an hour and a half, 2 hours. Welcome back, barbecue troopers. As you can see, we have our tomahawk on the cutting board.
Now it's done.
Decided to do up some bacon wrapped asparagus to go along with this. We have some garlic mashed potatoes also. This was a proven cook a little bit. The weather dropped down to 30 degrees, so I couldn't actually film the actual sear on the cooker. Just didn't want to stand outside in 30-degree weather with the camera and stuff. And I just really wanted to get it done. And it was 30 degrees outside. It was cold. So we're gonna clean this off, and we're gonna get into cutting this tomahawk. Oh, by the way, the bacon wrapped asparagus, I just rubbed them down with some olive oil and seasoned them up with some Uncle Steve's smoke bomb, and then just wrapped it. This is applewood bacon, and put these on the smoker. It should be tasty. I like bacon wrapped asparagus. So we're gonna cut this up. As you can see, it's ready to fall off the bone here. Okay, let's just do it. Let's cut it. So we took the internal temperature up to the 145 mark.
I see you're gonna hit the bone. There you go.
That's the bone here. So you can actually take your knife and go in between the bone and come around. If you want to do that, as you can see,
yeah,
it's already just falling off anyway.
Man, take that bite. Ah!
Let's see what this sounds.
Let's see. Russ, hold on. I'm gonna have to look at it again, Russ.
Too much fat that people do. I'm trying to hold this bone.
27 degrees, yeah.
Take it off the bone. Got to find out how to get it to it.
You gotta be aware of where the camera is, Darnell. So try to be intentional in where you set your camera up so that you're not blocking your camera, because at least you don't have ashy elbows. I can see you moisturize. Russ, I looked at the ticker symbol that particular day, but I didn't have any dry powder to put into it, so I couldn't do anything. I won't have any money to put into it until Friday. And that's a little overdone for me, but I like my steaks more rare, like a mid-rare. No, maybe it was just close to the bone. That knife just does everything, huh, Darnell?
Make sure you're cutting against grain.
Don't pull it.
That's perfect for me. Still juicy.
Yeah, I like it a little more rare, but just like you said, that's perfect for you. It looks good though. What does it taste like? Yes, Johnny, he released a video.
Take this piece here.
Hold on, let me look at that close up again. You're trying to figure out where the camera was. Oh man, you gotta eat the fat too, man. Gonna have me doing a damn tomahawk.
That's pretty good. The Canadian steak seasoning we put on definitely gave me the pop I wanted as far as flavor. And kind of decided to use that. I'm gonna get this cut up. This was interesting being my first cook. Cooking on video, talking to myself.
Yeah, buddy.
And
it's hard, isn't it? It's hard. It is not easy. Yo, this is definitely a feature-length movie.
Take my hand out to all YouTubers for being brave enough to, film their stuff.
Darnell's channel. Hold on, look, I'm gonna link the video. Just gonna copy this and this one. We are going to paste the video. Darnell's channel is the Starving Pig Barbecue.
Bring people into your life and your craft, whatever it is that you shoot for YouTube. A little bit of nerve-wracking, actually.
A little bit?
As I go through and start doing these videos more, I'm sure I get more comfortable. And, you know, as I go along and network with other YouTubers, I'm sure they're going to help me get through the process. And I want that piece, this whole piece right here. I want that whole thing. So there we have it, y'all. Next, I'm going to pair this up with some garlic mashed potatoes, bacon up asparagus. I wanted to make a chimichurri. I went and bought everything for it, but just pressed for time and the weather. But it's all right. I have all the stuff.
Yeah, Johnny, I'm aware. I'm aware. I'm aware. I'm not even gonna give you the Cliff's Notes. You got to watch the whole thing. No problem, Darnell. He said I'll get better. Thanks for any tips and criticism, dude. Man, definitely. I won't say I wish someone would have, but the ums and the ahs was something that it took me a while for someone to say you gotta stop doing that.
I said, really gave me what I wanted. It's a good crust. And you know, it's your steak. You can cook it.
It looks good though.
This is perfect for me.
So like bleeding, but the light from your stove is a warm light, so it's not a white light. So it's making the meat look a little darker because it's that warm light. So I can see the reflection in the stove. I mean, this is nitty gritty stuff. Nitty gritty stuff here. I can see the reflection from your stove in that crack. I can see two different hues. So I can see the yellow light from above the stove, and I see the white light from your camera or from whatever you're using. I don't know if you're using like a Ring camera or a ring light or something like that, but you can see the difference in the light. Had you had less yellow and more of the white, you would be able to see more color from the steak.
It was 4 pounds a week, and it was 3.5 inches thick. I wanted to make sure it was cooked through, so I feel like I accomplished that. I'm happy with the taste. You know, all right, guys, be right back. Okay, barbecue troopers, it's time for the close out of this video.
All right, so I'm trying to look at your glasses to see the reflection of the light.
Vinegar as a binder, maybe throw Canadian steak seasoning. We got it out to the smoker.
So maybe that's just the lights in your kitchen.
Charcoal acorn with smoke deflector, or heat deflector, I should say.
Or if it was the next day,
so for the acorn, that's pretty good.
because it's much brighter.
We did that for an hour.
Because I can see the light coming out of the window, so you must have done this the next day. See, I'm the type of person, I'm looking at all the reflections and everything, so I can see in your air fryer the reflection from the window, all the natural light coming in. So you said that you filmed the steak or you finished the steak and it was late.
Let it go
so
for another hour and a half. I believe it was. You red vinegar. Put it back on the acorn. Let it go for another hour and a half. I believe it was. Once we got it up to 127, before that 127. So
right.
Up our temperature up to 425. So the heat deflector out of the acorn. Put the steak back on, and then we sear that off to 145. So,
looking at this, I can tell this part here, when you are talking to the camera,
147 degrees.
Are you looking at the front-facing camera on your phone? Only reason I asked that, sorry, is you can see. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. Oh, flip the camera. It's kind of hard to see it. I can see it on my screen here, but see these marks here and here. That is your screen. That's your screen not being the camera not being clean. That haziness, I can tell this is your front-facing camera from the screen not being clean, because that's the part you put against your face when you're talking to people. So you got to make sure and you guys have seen me do this when I start the live streams a lot of times. I'm like, oh, wait. let me clean the camera, because you'll see that haze, that fogginess in the video, and I'm looking at this and I can see it in the beginning when you started, and I don't know, and I could go back and look at the very beginning. No, it had to be there had to be 2 different days, because I guess. So let's see, we're at 101. Let's go back to the very beginning. See, this is the type of stuff I do when I watch videos, like really, really watch videos. Yeah. Okay. So it is 2 different days, because you had on a different shirt, but the haze is almost still there. But the haze is there because I can see it, and that was one of the things that I talked about. We're at the 1 hour mark.
My name is Trooper. Don't call y'all barbecue troopers. So, and speaking up, over at Mama and Papa Joe's, I'm gonna get mine to his dog. Since his dog name is Trooper, don't call y'all barbecue troopers. So, and speaking of CJ, make sure y'all go over to Mama and Papa Joe's. Make sure you subscribe to their channel. CJ and his wife Alicia, they won reserve grand champion over the weekend down at the Houston Livestock and Rodeo, I believe.
Wait.
Make sure y'all go over to Mama and Papa Joe's. Make sure you subscribe to their channel. CJ and his wife Alicia, they won reserve grand champion over the weekend down at the Houston Livestock and Rodeo. I think the number, don't quote me on this, I think the number was out of 800 teams. That's very impressive. So make sure y'all go and give him congratulations, and his wife, that's a team. So I know people say CJ, but that's a team. So Mama and Papa Joe's, go over there to their YouTube channel. So y'all know, ready to an end.
Mama and Papa Joe's, what? I swear. I don't know. Maybe
I'm
I don't.
get this first video jitter.
Yep.
Off me.
Get it out. Get off this out your system.
Guys, my name is. Well, that doesn't matter right now. But I go by the call sign. Start with 8. Your call sign is gonna be starting 3. So Smoke Team 3 will be your call sign. If you need help with anything, you just get up on the radio and you hit me on my call sign, and I'll be there to help you out. If you do know my name, trust me, you don't know it anymore. Remember when I waved that tomahawk across the front of the screen at the beginning of the video? That was an MIB mind language. So guys, we're gonna break it make it to an 8 and have fun, and I'll see you all with the smoke clears.
Yes, it does, Johnny. I totally agree. Johnny said, "The starving pig." He said, "Darnell, congratulations on putting out your first video, man. It really takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there to people on social media. Trying to make every new video better than the one before. It makes you better. Yes, it does. Yes, indeed, it does." Russ said, "And another not from 767 sat on the tarmac waiting to get off the plane for an hour." Sheesh. Well, thanks, man. Definitely appreciate that. Darnell, all in all, man, I think pretty decent job. It's one of those things where now that you've done it, are you like, how do you do it? Or are you like, all right, I can do better. I need to do this, and this. So, one of those things. All right, man, I think I am done. Thank you for giving me the ability to stay on for a little while longer, because I was going to call it quits. But I don't know, maybe we can start doing, I don't know. I don't want to start saying, yeah, always room for, even myself, man. Shoot. I criticize and critique myself when I'm doing my editing. I'm like, damn it, I should have done this, or I should have done that, or I could have did this better, or that better, or if I have a malfunction setting up the camera, something. Yeah. All right, night, Johnny. Johnny says, night, everyone. Good night, John boy. That was right on time. Good night, Darnell. Let's see who else is here. Good night, Russ. Good night, Russell. I think that's about it. Good night, Freddie. All right, Bumpy. Be easy. So y'all take great care. It says there's 11 of you guys still here. Who else is here? Anybody else still here that wants to be tucked in and say goodnight to? Must be running south with 30 being cold. Nah. 30. He's in Maryland. He's in PG County, so he's just south of me. We He says, I'm not going to work tomorrow. Well, that's what's up. Peace, Russ. All right, Freddie. Thank you. No worries, Bumpy. Be easy. And I am going to try and do a video kind of summing this whole topic that we talked about up. Because I think I figured you're still driving. Kind of summing this whole live stream up because I think it was a pretty good one. Definitely. I think it'll be very helpful for folks. So thank you guys so very much as always for watching. Obviously, I'm going to tell you guys, I'll see you guys next time. So be on the lookout for a video. It might come out Friday. Excuse me, hiccups here. We'll see if I get it filmed tomorrow or not. All right. I'll see y'all. Right now, so be safe on the road out there. All right. Take care. Peace.